Hello, hi.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
There we go.
So I think hold on, wait. Stream failed to start. Watch stream. Do you have your VTube studio minimized? Is that why it's not showing? I think so, yeah. There it is. Okay, I can see it now.
Yeah.
Give me one
Okay.
second. All right.
I'm gonna try to keep my hands off the mouse and stuff. Okay.
I'm just gonna do that however you want. Okay. So what's up? You were you were I think the only thing I know you from is you were on that Dawn thing, right? The Nyara debate kind of look over everything. Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, I was blocked behind Celestium's big head when Mizu and them were covering it.
Oh,
so, yeah,
I see.
I was there. Hi.
Hi, what's up?
Yeah.
How you doing?
I guess I should introduce myself.
Yeah, of course. Sure. Go ahead.
So, hi, I'm Ava Ayama. I guess that's my model's name.
Mm-hmm.
You can call me Lav if you want as
well.
well.
Your model, so it's like you consider like a different person. Just making sure.
Just it's a different representation
like
of me. Yeah.
Okay.
Like a character.
That's fair enough.
Hmm?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I lost my train of thought. Jeez.
Sorry.
Okay, so my profile is mostly focused on different types of media, whether that be anime, gaming, sometimes political stuff with like streaming or like actual like politics based stuff. I'm very focused on intellectual discussions and having productive conversations, and you wanted to debate, so
yeah,
I guess, yeah.
I thought you were a huge weeb too.
Oh, I mean, I kind of am, yeah.
Yeah, me too. I'm a huge weeb.
Before we start with any like debate,
yeah.
So like I was reading up on like your VTuber wiki. And like I guess to keep like more in like character,
yeah, what's up?
I heard you were friends with like Shirelia and like worked on a couple characters in like Riot, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
played League of Legends back then. I was a Katarina main, so all the characters you pretty much had a hand in.
That's awesome.
Dreaded hated going against.
Yeah.
And I just wanted, I guess, to get your thoughts and stuff on like how the work environment was there. And
oh yeah, sure. I mean, I could talk about that if you want, whenever like it's whenever you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a pretty good experience. I don't know. It was like it was really different because like things were a lot smaller back then, right? And, like when I was working there, it was a really small company, so not really anything like it is now, right? Because it was wild. Like shit was crazy. There's people pissing in fridges and stuff. It was insane.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I absolutely believe that. I thought that was cool, and I wanted to start up there. Just wanted to make it known to you and your audience that I just don't have intentions of being bad faith here.
Okay, that's good.
Make that clear to y'all.
That sounds good.
Primarily, I only speak for myself. I understand I will be seen as a representative of trans people and stuff. So,
well, are you?
Well, I mean, not necessarily, but
I
like people are
going
to take it that way. So, based. Yes. I mean, based.
Yeah, actually,
I represent all Clinton George. So
are you like friends with Nyara, or I don't know, what's your relationship with?
Friends? I wouldn't say. I mean, like we're chill, but like we're not like friends or anything. I'm not friends with her in Discord or.
You're not friends with every trans person?
No, of course not. No, absolutely not. I mean, like we have our back and forth here and there. Like, I have my back and forth with her.
Yeah.
But it's just on stuff that I actually like. Just have gripes on, like fiction and stuff like that usually.
Okay, but got it.
Typically, I'm supportive on like Nyara's stuff, and I know she's like a rage baiter, so.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I would tell Nyara that to her face. So yeah.
So you wanted to start with the debate on abortion.
Sure. Yeah. So I guess I mean, before we start, I have a question, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
but it's related, right? So like, thanks for
Yep.
showing up. I really appreciate it. But I
No
wanted to
problem.
know, like, so just like make sure that we're operating under like the same logical foundation and stuff, right? Because like you talked about logic in your post.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you said you were gonna debate me, right? You said that you would debate me. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you said, but you said it was like super cringe that like I didn't want to debate right away, and that you're
Mm-hmm.
debating me now. So it's either I debate now or we're not going to speak on it. It's my choice,
Mm-hmm.
right? And, like I wasn't there. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was watching anime with my mom. So like what changed your mind?
Well, shout out to your audience. They really
Mm-hmm.
wanted to hear me speak, apparently. So I
Mm-hmm.
decided that I would, think about it for a little bit. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I was being a little too harsh.
Uh-huh.
Celestium also said that if I debated you, that I'd be able to debate Celestium. So,
Oh,
hey, this is where we are right
you want
now.
to do? So I think Celestia is watching right now, actually.
Hmm.
So like, what made you? So
Which,
is that what made you change your mind? Is like people convinced you?
I mean, I take valid criticisms and valid like wants and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, stream is laggy, not voices. I'm just not going to stream this then on my end. People can watch it on your stream. I don't know.
So like I guess my question is like, so you would you say that you changed your position due to backlash, or you just changed your
No, it's
mind?
it's not backlash. It's more of like taking into the greater account of like the the entire potential good that could come from this
Mm-hmm.
interaction rather than completely nuking any type of like potential outreach. I mean, you did come to me to a debate, and in my personal opinion, when someone like challenges like someone to a debate, unless they like specify like later sometime,
Mm-hmm.
I usually think it's like soon. So that's
Really?
why I was like, oh,
Is
we're speaking.
is it how it is? And like
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that like how it is in your circles where if you if you challenge someone to debate, it's like right now, basically. I guess it's like I've never seen that before in the content creator sphere, which is why I was a bit confused.
Oh, I'm not a content creator. I don't really care about the attention. I hate the attention actually,
Uh
but I'm here because somebody got to do it. So,
okay. All right. So I mean, I guess like I guess you could talk about what you want to talk about then, because
well, you challenged me to the debate. So,
yeah, but
I mean,
I mean, I guess you want me to go over the thing. So
yeah, your abortion tweet that I criticized. Yeah.
yeah. So what didn't you like about my tweet, my original one?
Let me go pull it up
We can go point
real
by
quick.
point. That way, it's like kind of.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Give me one moment. Just want to pull it up myself. Okay. So I'm going to read it out verbatim so we're all on the same page.
Sure.
So the sins of the father are not transferred to the child.
Mm-hmm.
You're still killing an innocent person.
Mm-hmm.
Also, not really that hot, but let's be real. Most of you abortion enjoyers just
Mm-hmm.
want to kill people to avoid personal responsibility and then
Mm-hmm.
use rape victims as shields to justify it.
Mm-hmm.
Serial killers who kill people for the love of the game
Yep.
are unironically less cringe.
Mm-hmm. So which part do you
Um,
specifically have a problem with? Like, do you want to tackle like I guess which individual part do you want to tackle on the thing?
well, first, I'm not interested in any of these religious. Honestly, I'm not interested in any of the religious justifications
Oh
whatsoever.
no, I can talk
It's
about it
mostly the
from.
the last
Go ahead. I can talk
the
about
last.
I can talk about it purely secular. So
Mhm.
like the first one, right? When I mean the sins of the father, I mean the crime. So you can let's like replace it like it. Let's use a secular argument, and we'll say the crimes of the father are not transferred to the child, right? So we
Mhm.
just remove the religious connotation there. We'll just say like the crimes of the father are not transferred to the child. You're still killing an innocent person. It's like that would remove the religion from it, right?
The crimes of the father are
Hmm.
not transferred to the child,
Yeah, because the
but
father's a rapist, right? So the father like raped a woman, but then the
mhm.
child is not guilty of the father's crime.
Yeah, but I
Hmm.
don't think that's really relevant when it comes down to the actual facts of the matter.
Why
What is
not?
best for the mother and what is best for the child?
Well, I mean, what is best for the child is for the child to not die, right? Like we're talking about death.
Uh, Well, yeah, ideally you would want the child
Hmm.
to not die, but I mean, I'm a big fan of allowing abortions up to like what 20 or so weeks when like that's when it starts to become more viable to live outside the mother's body.
Okay, so
It's like no longer attached to the mother, no longer needs like I mean like it
mm,
still does obviously. There's varying survival rates per like weeks of gestation
mm.
and I
So
think like there is a valid argument to be made that we should take more into account rather than wanting to keep a child alive because there's more to factor into a healthy living child living in reality that we currently live in.
okay, hold on. So let me break this down a bit. So you draw a line at what, 20? You said 20 weeks? Is there a reason? What's 20
Uh,
weeks? Like
like
where is
20,
the line
no,
specifically?
just I don't really like honestly. I'm not really too interested in the abortion topic. You wanted to debate me on it, so I'm gonna
Huh?
just like engage with it because I think that's just valuable to do.
Hmm.
Or at least it says 21 weeks survival is extremely rare. 22 weeks, it's like 10 to 30% survival rate, depending on like
Yeah.
child
Did you want to come back
care.
to this because you said that you were more interested in the other part? Do you want to come back? We can come to this later because it's going to be
Well, no,
relevant eventually.
well, yeah, well, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm not really too interested in like talking about like the
The specifics of
that stuff.
abortion.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
because
just think that it's,
mhm, go
I
ahead.
just personally think that it's like just disgusting and like disingenuous to assume that people
Uh-huh.
actually enjoy getting abortions just because you see people being crude and crass online.
Okay, so which specific? Let's pick like a specific part here too.
The
So I'm looking
specific
at it right
last
now.
point that I definitely was harping on in
Is the serial
my
killers part?
yes, the
So
serial
okay.
killers that kill people for the love of the game are
Mm-hmm.
unironically less cringe.
Yes. So like so what do you think I mean by that? Like, can you still amend
Um,
my argument?
you think that you think that life is so valuable that it is worth it to have that child born and be killed by someone who enjoys it rather than just letting the mother choose what is best for her and her body.
Okay, so I mean,
That's what I'm
I'll
getting from
explain it
that.
to you from. I'll explain it to you then. Okay, so the reason
Mhm.
why it's more cringe is because the serial killer is aware that he's killing, whereas the other person is justifying, is depersoning the child in order to kill it to avoid responsibility. So
I
in
think
one
they're
case,
personing.
they're fully aware that they're killing the child, and they're doing it specifically for enjoyment, whereas the other person is doing it is in order to avoid responsibility. They justify to themselves why killing is okay.
I think this is very irresponsible and very selfish. I think this is mostly informed in your religious perspective because you
It's
just
not religious.
prioritize life in general.
It's not really. Oh,
I mean,
wait, hold on. Wait, what do you mean by
you
that?
can say that.
Wait,
You
what do
can
you mean by
say
that?
that. I mean,
Actually,
what the
most of my
religious?
yeah, most of my arguments are secular. Actually, it's like, what's your what
Well,
do you mean by life isn't? What do you mean by I think life is important? What do you mean by that? Like, can you
well,
restate what you said? Your
well.
model
I
disappeared, by
think
the way.
that. Oh, my model this way. Well,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believe that, in your opinion,
Mm-hmm.
when a child is like, or I guess like it's conceived or concepted or conceived or gestated or whatever, like whatever your definition for when you start valuing life, in your opinion,
Mm-hmm.
you value that life more than any of the future or present lived experiences that that child will experience,
Wait, lived it.
depending on the mother and the livelihood expectation of that.
Wait, what do you mean by
Um,
lived experience? So the lived experience of the child?
mhm. Well,
So
you want the child to be born, correct?
yes, yes.
Does that mean that every parent is fit to care for children?
I mean, no, obviously. So some people suck at being parents.
So there is a valid reason to start engaging with nuance, correct?
Well,
It
well.
shouldn't be just, I
Okay, go ahead.
assume people are trying to evade a responsibility. It
Mm-hmm.
should be assumed that people are genuinely not wanting to get abortions and they're coming to get abortions because there's a valid reason to get them.
Okay, so from my point of view, where I see the baby as like a unique human being that, you know, deserves rights, right? So them killing them because they're not good parents is not a good excuse to me. So like, where's the limit to that? So like,
It's not an excuse though.
go,
That's where
what do you
we're
mean?
missing.
What do you mean excuse?
That's where we're missing the point. Like,
Okay, go
if
ahead.
I'm giving valid reasons for why I personally can't care for a child that you want me to conceive, even though it's my body, my life, everything, I know what's
But
going
that
to
is an
happen
excuse though.
potentially.
That is an excuse
It's not an
though.
excuse. It's just the reality. Like, some people are just not built to be parents,
So,
and
so
that's like real. That's real shit. You have to
hold
engage
on,
with reality.
hold on real quick. So there's a person, right? So like, we're talking about a normal case of abortion here, right? Where a person has, they have sex, right? Which leads to them
Uh,
being pregnant, right? And then they
are we
decide at
assuming?
some
Wait,
point, sorry, go ahead.
Are we assuming that they use contraceptives first?
Sure. I mean, it doesn't matter for the argument, because even if you were to use
It's
contraceptives, right, you still assume the risk because there is a risk, right?
Well, yes, you assume the risk, but
Yes.
you're already saying that you don't want this child. So if you get that risk of being pregnant, yes, the abortion should be there for you to
So
take advantage of. You
okay.
didn't intend to have that child.
So let's say that there was a mistake, right? Let's say that they didn't intend to have the kid, right? I'm gonna completely basically go with your interpretation of this. So let's say that a parent, two people have sex, right? And then completely on accident, like they didn't plan for this, they get pregnant, right? And they want to kill the kid, right? So you're saying that you're saying that since they're not ready for it, they should be able to do it because it was an accident. It's not loaded. Oh, how's it loaded?
It's loaded. When you're saying they want to kill the kid, nobody wants to, like personally,
okay.
I think it's disrespectful to like everyone who has experienced abortion. My mom has experienced abortion. She aborted the person before me, obviously. I think it's disrespectful to think that people actually want to go through these things. My dad convinced my mom to basically drop her entire career and to let him take care of her.
I don't really.
Wait, I want to elaborate. This is valuable.
Go ahead.
I'm Black. I'm trans. This is valuable for everyone to hear. My dad convinced my mom to basically leave the state to marry him at a young age, not a minor, of course, but at a young age, to drop her career in college lifestyle and all that stuff. And once he eventually went to jail, my mom was on her own. She could barely take care of the children that he wanted her to have. This is a valuable thing to know about. Not everyone can handle, not everyone is able to take care of children because of the circumstances that they're put in their family situations.
Okay. So what's the limiting factor to that? So like for example, right? Let's say that the child was born, right? And then they're like, oh, actually we can't take care of this kid, and actually we're not really prepared for it. Can they kill the kid?
Well, in your world, you're saying if a serial killer killed that kid, that'd be
no. I'm not talking about that.
Killed the kid early.
We're not talking about that right now. We're talking about this specific situation.
No, they should not be able to kill a kid if it's already born. Honestly,
why not?
No. I think because that's immoral. The child's already born.
So what's the difference? So the difference that you have is that the child isn't born, or like the child is like the position of the child is what you're worried about.
No, my position is if the child can exist outside of the body of the mother, then it deserves the same rights and human dignity as any other human. Like this is.
So hold on. So sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Let me know when you're done.
No, I'm saying this should seem non-negotiable personally.
Why? So
because I think there is a valid I think there is valid cases if doctors determine that people are actually trying to get rid of a child because they genuinely just want to kill the child or whatever, maybe there should be some nuances engaged there to
but
not
that's every abortion case
validate that. No, it's not every abortion case, and it's disgusting that you kind of just
so hold on. So what would you call it then if a person says I can't take care of this kid, I would like to get an abortion? You don't think that they want the abortion?
No, of course not.
Then why not have the kid?
Because they can't take care of the kid, and it'd be how much more painful it is to give birth to a child that you can't take care of, and then have that child live a life that you'll never experience them potentially going through.
So it's better to kill them.
And no, that's not what this is not, you're not engaging with what's going on.
No, I
People
am.
don't, no, people don't, when people make these decisions, they don't go in there like, you what to do? I'm so happy to get this abortion and get rid of this child because I can't
It
take
doesn't
it.
matter.
No,
Whether or
they
not they're happy
are
doesn't matter.
genuinely depressed. No, they are genuinely depressed and upset that they can't take care of this child for whatever reason, whether that's somebody raped them or they just financially just can't do it. Like there are valid reasons why people shouldn't have to be burdened with like what you are trying to place as a curse on them.
Okay, I have a question then. So like if I were to like walk up to a person and I killed them and I was like, oh, I feel really bad about it. I actually did it, like, oops, like feels really terrible that I did that. Do you think that them feeling bad about it justifies what happened?
No, of course not. You already
so then in the case of the abortion, it's the same thing. Like you feeling bad about the abortion doesn't change the fact that you aborted the kid.
Right? I just don't think you're engaging with what I'm saying personally.
Wait, how am I not? Can you explain to me how I'm not?
Well, I'm telling you that, well, you're portraying it to me like people are enjoying the fact that they have the option to get rid of children.
So
yes.
So let's take that off the table for a moment because we're talking about two completely different things. So like let's remove that part off the table, okay? I want to know why you think that it's okay to abort somebody first before we talk about whether or not the person liked it or not.
I explained it. You can rewind the tape. I explained it.
Okay. So let me steel man your argument, okay? You're saying that if a person is not ready to have a kid and they're sad about it, it's okay to do it. Right?
No, I'm saying if there are valid nuances and reasons to engage with for why that specific person cannot raise or take care of a child, or the child is going to be impaired in some way in their life, then
impaired.
Yeah,
what do you mean by that? Hold on. This is really important. What do you mean by impaired?
Well, well, looking at the birth viability rates after like what 22 weeks to 4 weeks, there's like a high probability of like neurological impairments for the child. And I think that's like I'm not sure how high the probability is, but there's a survival rate difference and a neurological impairment difference.
What are you talking about specifically? Sorry, like you're saying that if you were to birth the kid, well, I mean, why not just bring the kid to term?
Because I feel like that's evil. I personally
why?
I personally think it's evil.
Why is it evil?
Because if you know that the child is not going to live after you give birth to them and they're disconnected from your body.
What do you mean by that?
People have described this experience of being like, we know that this child is going to die as soon as they are born, and they watch them suffocate. They watch the child suffocate for 2 minutes.
I'm really confused what you're talking about. So like, okay.
You're not confused.
No, I am. I am. Actually, I actually don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't know where that came from. Like them dying when they're born.
You can do your own research personally. You can just do your own research if you're not aware.
Well, okay. Why don't
children can die when they're born.
No, I know that can happen. But here, let me like set up. Let me like to clarify. Like, let's like sterilize the scenario so it's like easier to understand. Okay, so let's assume that the child there's no problems with them, right? Like they're gonna be born like normally. Like let's just say, right? And then let's say that the parent doesn't have they don't want to have the kid, right? Like for whatever reasons, financial,
no,
personal.
It's not for whatever reason.
Okay, what reason would you like then? We can pick a reason. What reason would you like?
It can't be for whatever reason. It
has to be
like I feel like if people want to get abortions, it has to be like you already took the steps prior to getting pregnant to show that you did not want the child in the first place, and you have taken valid steps to be proactive in this decision, and you are not waiting until the life of the baby is more viable.
Can you pick a reason then? Can you pick a reason then? So okay, so kid doesn't have any problems, right? Has no problem, no birth problems, and then pick a specific reason. Like, give me one reason that you would have in the abortion.
What do you mean?
Like a reason, a reason that you would think to you is a valid reason for getting an abortion.
Me personally, when I was developing, I wasn't developing right. My mom already previously had an abortion. She already like lost part of her like ovary or something, and like when I was born, I wasn't developing right. So like when they were doing tests on stuff and on that, and if it was determined that my life was going to be like insanely like impaired or just like not functional.
But what do you mean by that? What do you mean by impaired?
Like
these details are important, right?
possibly take care of myself without like my own like mind or like consent to function correctly in my own body.
Wait,
That's
what?
what I mean.
Consent to wait? Can you explain that? I don't know what you mean by that. Consent to
Neurological
so like
conditions
retarded
when
or something
you're
like that. Like there's like
no,
a
not like
Down syndrome or what?
not like retarded, but no, not like retarded. There are like locked in syndrome. Like there are things that people develop where they are conscious in their body or not conscious. I don't even know. It's so hard to describe, and I shouldn't have to do this fucking research because I think I'm explaining
No,
something that's simple.
but you
I think it's
you
something
should
that's
though.
simple and empathy.
I mean, I don't
Well,
think it is.
no,
Like to me, it's
I'm
not. This
telling you.
isn't common knowledge to me.
No, I'm telling you that
Uh-huh.
it's worth it to engage in nuance so like we can preserve like child life and like human dignity at the same time.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Like,
I'm
it
trying to
shouldn't
do
be
that. I'm literally trying to
it
do. That's
shouldn't
why
be
I'm
an end
asking
all.
you.
Yeah. But when I keep explaining it to you, you
Uh-huh.
keep saying, well, when someone wants to get rid of the child, and I'm like, well, that's
Well,
not
we
what's
need
going on.
we
They're
need
not
to
like
know.
wanting to get rid of the
We
child.
need to know
You
a
know?
specific scenario. So like what I'm asking is like, can you give me a very specific scenario? Like, can we detail a scenario that I can like write down and like these requirements, these specific set of things that happen make abortion okay to you? That's what I'm asking for because I don't know what you mean. But because you're saying like this is what you're saying. You're saying like there's nuance to it. There's all of these reasons like a person would get abortion. And I'm saying okay, so from your point of view, what is a case in which abortion would be okay? Let's like go through all of the details. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll
So
explain it.
one kid
One
is
more, I'll explain it one more time.
Okay, sure.
So one more time. So as clear as I can get.
Mm-hmm.
If during the act of sex,
During
the parents
sex, okay.
already during sex, if the parents use contraceptives, you're already determining that the parents do not want to have a child if they're using birth control in the form of condoms or abortion pills, or not abortion pills, fucking, you know what I mean.
Do not want child, and they use contraceptives. Got it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If they end up pregnant and they are not waiting,
they get pregnant.
like waiting an extended period
they get
from
pregnant.
like what 16 to like 20 something weeks, when like it's starting to become like more evident that they're probably going to like actually have a child and like deal with it.
So can you say that one again? So they get pregnant. So they don't. So just to like, because I want to be very clear here. So during sex they use contraceptives. They don't want the child, and then they get pregnant, and then some amount of weeks they decide they don't want the kid.
And then it becomes apparent after a certain amount of time
that they're pregnant.
These people were not proactive in this decision, i.e., they were not thinking that they did not want this child, and they have actually determined that they did want the child at a certain point, but they are now saying that they don't want the child for whatever reason.
So they wanted the child originally, just to be clear. They wanted the child originally, and then they changed their mind.
Yeah, once it becomes apparent that someone comes into a clinic with the baby developed long enough.
Okay. They get pregnant. They have
intentions of carrying that child first. And then they say, you know what? Maybe I can't do it.
Changed mind after some time.
This is, I don't know. This is, I feel like I'm just getting like my chain yanked around, to be honest.
No. I mean, how could I possibly understand you? Like, I'm trying to understand you. Like, I'm actually like trying to be as good faith as possible, which is why I'm trying to ask you for the details.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have it written down. So like, what happens after that? So they get pregnant. They carry it. Like, I'm literally writing this all down so I can like kind of picture it in my mind. So they don't have contraceptives. They don't want the child, but they get pregnant, and then they say that they want the child at first, but then they decide at some point that like, oh, actually, like we don't really want the child, right? That's what you said, right?
You're on the right track. Yeah.
Okay. So what happens after that? So like, you can get an abortion in that case. Like that's like okay. At that spot?
I think there is a valid reason. I think there is a valid reason for abortion to take place.
So this is okay. These conditions.
Wait a minute.
Go ahead. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
I think there are valid reasons for abortion to take place. I think that doctors and professionals who are taking care of these women can possibly determine why these people are coming in for abortions. Now, if they're coming in because they initially had the intentions of carrying that child,
Mhm.
and then some way down the line they just said, nah, you know what, I'm 22 weeks in or 23 weeks, I just don't want the kid. No, that's like fucked up. Like at that point, like you can give birth to that child and it has a chance of survival, sure, but
Mhm.
it's going to have a chance of comorbidities attached to it.
So
Like
mhm.
it's cruel, you know. Like
Uh,
it. That's like that's what I'm trying to engage with you. I'm
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to engage with like not saying that like, yeah, abortion as a concept is like the most awesome thing ever. It's so
Mhm.
based and awesome. I'm not saying that. And personally, I don't think that's how anyone engages with abortion. I think people take these decisions seriously. No one just like goes in just happy willy-nilly, I'm ready to get rid of the kids. Like people actually feel these things when they're losing kids.
So
They're losing
okay.
children.
So like
Mhm.
I don't really like. I'll talk about that later. But so you said that valid reasons that will be determined between the woman and the doctor,
I'm not
correct?
Listen, if you're not going to
I am
engage with what
engaging.
I'm
No,
saying
because I
without
don't know what this
asking,
means. I don't know what this means. Like you said, I'm literally asking you because I
I
don't
want you to
understand your
I
specific
want you to
point.
have like a genuine dialogue with me instead of
I
just like
am.
asking like me to clarify things that I'm like, I feel like
Wait,
I'm saying it like
wait.
pretty
That's
clearly.
wait. I am having a. This is the reason I'm asking because I'm trying to have a genuine dialogue. Like you said, right? Like you specifically said valid reasons. And like I wrote it down. Like that, if that is like I'm trying to show you like this is good faith. I wrote this down just so I could ask you this, right? So you said valid
Yeah.
reasons for the abortion to take place, like between
No.
the doctor,
No,
right?
no,
Because
no,
either
no,
the
no,
doctor
no,
would,
no.
right?
The longer I talk, the more I just fuck up all the time. People can just fucking capitalize on that shit. I'm fucking
Well,
up here, I'm fucking up there.
well, I
I
mean, you
don't
can
like, you
clarify.
know my position. You understand my
I
position. I
don't.
am speaking, I am telling you that there are valid reasons for nuance, that professionals who are taking care of these women and these people who are
Yeah,
coming in there
that's what
to
I'm
have
asking
like,
you. That's what I'm asking you.
yes,
What
there
is that valid reason? You're saying that there are valid reasons. I'm saying, okay, what is an example of said valid reasons for our scenario so that we can understand?
as I described initially, when it's determined that the child is developing in such a way that they are not going to survive post childbirth.
That they're not going to survive post childbirth?
Yes, people have described this experience. I said this initially. People have described this initially. They knew that the child was most likely going to die once it was born, and then they
Okay.
watched that child suffocate for anywhere from minutes to hours. It's
Okay.
traumatic to
So
people.
I have a question then. Okay, so like let's say that I do accept your premise here and I say
Mhm.
I'm just going to accept it just for the sake of the argument. Like
You should accept it.
I'm going to say okay, so in that case, sure, we can allow it. But what about other cases? Because like we're talking about abortion as a whole, right? So like what about if they just want to get it? Like they just don't want to they just don't want to have it. How about that reason? Because that's like a lot of reasons. That's a lot of
I mean,
most abortions are elective actually. I mean, I can give you the
I
stats for
mean,
it if you
yeah.
want.
How long is the baby being gestated for?
The exact same scenario that you just talked about, except the reason is not that the baby is going to die anyway. The reason
If,
is that the woman just wants it.
if the baby can survive outside of the mother's womb and the mother just decides they want to get rid of the baby for whatever reason,
Hmm.
no, that's not okay.
Well, not
No.
yet. Not yet. Like let's say
No, it can survive earlier than like, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I'm pretty
mm,
sure you looked into all these things of like the gestation weeks and the survival rates and all that stuff. You know exactly what I mean.
I don't know what you mean. Like what I'm trying to say here is at what point, right? So you're saying that there's a point at which the baby can survive outside the womb, and then that's fine, right? So like I mean, I guess we can just look it up real quick,
No,
like the
that's
actual timing
I
on
didn't
that.
say
No, you didn't say that. Okay, what did you
it.
say?
Yeah, no, so okay. So looking this up, just cursory glance.
Uh huh.
21 weeks survival is extremely rare. 22 weeks, 10 to 30% survival rate. Considered the limit of viability.
Mm-hmm.
23 weeks, 23 to 55% survival. 24 weeks, 40 to 70%. Yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if it gets to like that 22 week, 23 week mark, and like they've had intentions of carrying this child, and then just whatever reason they're like, I kind of just don't want to take care of this kid now, and I'd rather just get rid of it. Like,
Uh huh.
probably not the plan,
Yeah.
but I'm not a professional. I don't know exactly how they'd go about it. I don't even know. Like, to me, from reading this, it sounds like, sometimes they'll just induce birth early, and sometimes the children will survive at varying rates depending on which care they're receiving. Like, I don't know exactly how to go about it because I'm not a professional who would even know how to determine something like that. But I think there are valid reasons that we could engage with for abortion is not seen as someone just getting rid of a kid and being happy about it,
Yeah. So in this case that you're talking about, right? So you are in favor then. Like, I just want to clarify your position that if the child can survive outside of the room, like as in like you get to the point and then the woman's like, I actually don't want the child, but the child can survive outside the room. You think that they should extract the child in every case, so that abortion should. So you're against abortion past that point, right?
Well,
that was your argument, right?
I think it's been like determined around the 21, 22 week period is when like actual like consciousness and like human like experience starts and stuff, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's when you start like taking into like the account their like human rights and stuff like that, because like they can actually survive not attached to the mother, like essentially as a parasite, because before that point they're essentially like a parasite to the mother.
I mean,
and without the mother they're not that well definitely not, but like you know what I mean. Like essentially I without the mother's body they're not going to survive.
So I just want to reiterate, you are against abortion after that point, 100%, like not allowed, and you would be okay with that being allowed.
100% no, obviously, because there are going to obviously be just case
for
by
the
case
most part,
scenarios
without an edge case, like you would be okay with abortion at that point.
For the most part, probably unless it's like a valid reason that's determined by professionals and stuff that like it's worth it probably to value I would definitely
so that's like what, 20, let's just like say 21, like just well 21 give or take, whatever, right? Like
21 weeks survival is extremely rare apparently, so we'll say 22, 23
okay, sure,
weeks.
22, 23, okay,
yeah,
all right.
So I guess we can like branch off to like trans topics.
Actually, I want to talk about this a little bit more because I'm curious as to like why the viability of the child existing outside of the room is like, why is that the reason? Is that what gives them value?
Well, do you not value their experience to live a satisfying life that you could be proud of and happy of and stuff?
What do you okay, so
like do you really want children born into families who have no intention of taking care of them whatsoever? Like, because from reading your tweet, you're saying that like as long as that child is born and a serial killer kills it for fun, like it's less cringe than if that mother would have got the abortion, even though she knew the serial killer would have killed that child.
No, that's not what I was saying. It's a different argument. Like, what I was saying, no, that's not what I meant at all, actually.
That's what we're getting from it personally. That's what I'm getting from it personally.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm clarifying to you, right? I'm clarifying to you what I mean by that. So, like, I'm trying to clarify my position so that you can understand what I mean by that.
Okay.
Yeah, which I did earlier, which is what I said, is that the reason why the serial killer is less cringe is because they have a full understanding of like what they're doing and they're doing it anyway, whereas the other people are trying to shirk responsibility by depersoning the child in order to kill it.
They aren't.
So it has nothing to do with what you said.
This is where me and you are just we don't have that same like understanding. You're thinking that they're depersoning the child. I'm thinking that they're actually taking a lot of account in decision making when they're thinking about their children and what to do with their own bodies.
That's why I'm asking you. That's why I'm asking. This is the reason I'm trying to dig deeper.
I guess the better question I think is to ask you, like, why do you think that people just want to get rid of children and they're like fine with that and they like don't think about it deeper than that pretty much?
There's a lot of reasons behind it, right? Like, so for example, in the case of like, I mean, to use a couple of the edge cases that everybody uses, like for rape, like there's the case of the woman feels bad about it. It's an awful thing that happened. It's a reminder of all of what happened. That would be a reason, right? But I think a lot of people, so I'm talking like the majority, right? And like going through the data, like 98% of abortions, right, are elective, right? So
Yes, but
yeah, yeah.
that
So
doesn't mean that they're enjoying the fact that they're getting it done. So,
well, it has nothing to do with whether or not they enjoy it. It has nothing to do
but
with whether or not they enjoy it. Like
you're claiming that they're trying to shirk responsibility,
yes,
which means they have
huh?
some sort of like, yeah,
No, that has
I'm
nothing to do
glad
with
that I can
enjoyment.
kill this baby and remove responsibility. Like
That
this
has
isn't
nothing to do. Elective and enjoyment is not the same thing. So like them
okay.
saying like, oh well, you know, I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready for this responsibility. I just don't want to have the child right now. I want to
Mhm.
live life a little bit more. Like these reasons
Mhm.
are specifically to get away from the responsibility of having a kid. So the abortion is specifically for that reason, in like 98% of cases.
So you're just fine with like you already know like the parent just has no intention of taking care of that child whatsoever, just them having birth, and that's fine.
Sure, and I think that's a terrible thing, but I think that's separated from whether or not like they should be killed.
You don't think that's like cruel in any way?
No, I think it's more cruel to kill the kid.
You're essentially killing the kid
No, how am I doing that?
in your own way. I mean, don't you value children being brought up in healthy, functional families and learning environments where they can learn and grow and have like a
Hmm?
stable foundation to base their lived experiences off? Do you just
Okay,
want
so so okay, so I have a question
so
for you. So
wait,
if I
are
get
you
if I
essentially describing
go
that
ahead.
you don't care about the parent-child like relationship of them caring about their children, basically? Like you
No,
just don't
I
care
care.
about that
No,
aspect?
no, this is like a waffles pancake thing. Like I actually like whether or not I care doesn't matter to
Mm.
whether or not um the child's life deserves protection. It's like completely irrelevant. Whether or
I
not
think
they
that's
care or not, it doesn't affect the value.
no, I think before 22, 23 weeks, I think that's irrelevant. I think
Why
after
is that?
22, 23 weeks or whatever, it starts being more relevant
Why is it not relevant before?
because they can't survive without the mother. They have no agency in that scenario. They have no possibility of agency. None at all. They can't survive without the mom.
Neither can infants though.
Pancakes, waffles.
So if I put you on an island and then you have a kid and
I,
you're taking care of this kid, right? And here's a thought experiment. You're on an abandoned island. You have a kid, right? And the kid is
mhm.
dependent on you to live. Can you just kill a kid?
Well, actually, let me turn this thought experiment back around and
Okay.
ask you if I was a pregnant serial killer and I went to that island with the intention of killing that kid that I gave birth to. Is that like less cringe
Wait,
than if I were to just
this has
get an
nothing to do with
abortion?
that. Like you're changing the argument. Like we're talking
Well,
about
it's the same
this.
thing,
It's not. It's really not. It's not the same thing.
but I'm a serial killer who is giving birth
No,
on
the
the
serial killer
same
doesn't matter.
island,
We're talking about so like
but
we're talking
we
about a
have
very specific.
intentions of
Okay,
killing
how
the
about
kid,
this?
correct?
We'll talk about that one after if you want. We can talk about
Okay.
that one. So in this first case, right? You're on an island and you have a
Uh-huh.
kid, right? And the kid is dependent on you for survival. Like say they're like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like 5 years old or something like that. Like if you
Mm-hmm.
abandon a 5-year-old kid, they're gonna die, right? They can't do anything on their own. So like can you just kill the kid because the kid's dependent on you? The kid's like your child.
No. When
Why
the
not?
kid is born and the kid is, I feel like when you actually bring a child to term, you have the moral and personal responsibility to uplift and raise that child. Yes, that is your child.
So it
It
has
is not
nothing to do
correct.
then. It has nothing to do with whether or not the kid's
Once you
dependent on
bring
you.
it
The
to term,
dependence doesn't matter.
I just said once. Whoa, hold on. So wait, can you repeat what you just said?
So the dependence doesn't matter according to you. Like
It
that
does
factor doesn't
matter.
matter.
I said once you bring a child to term, it is your responsibility to take care of that child. In my opinion, that is my personal ethical opinion. That once you bring a child to birth or to term, it is your responsibility. And if that requires, I guess, inducing gestation early sometimes, then I guess you're still responsible for that child, in my opinion. But like, if it can't survive without the mom being attached to that, like embryo or like
Yeah, but
fetus,
you said
like
that the reason why it was you said that the reason why is because the fetus, the child, was dependent on the mother. That's what you
No,
said.
I said that the fetus has no agency. It can't do anything. It
Yeah,
literally
neither
can't
can
do
kids.
anything.
Neither can 5-year-old kids on an island.
It
That was my point.
can.
Like what?
They can.
They're gonna die.
They're yes, they are living that lived experience of them dying, which is bad and immoral and wrong. Yes.
It's the same thing.
No,
How's it not
it's not the same thing.
How's it not?
If it can't survive outside of the mother's body before it is viable for living outside of their body, then it's okay, in my opinion. But once you get to the 22, 23 week mark, it's bad, because that's when you're supposed to be prioritizing the child's life over your own.
So it's
in
location.
my personal opinion.
So it's not whether or not the child is dependent on somebody. That's not the issue. The issue is whether the child is inside of the woman's body versus outside.
What? Right? No. How do I say that the child has to be able to survive outside of the mother's body at a certain point, which is
outside or inside is what matters.
Right? 22 or so weeks at that point.
Yeah, but why?
If it's still inside the mom, you should still probably prioritize that child's life, because you have intentions of taking care of that child for the most part. If they induce that child, there is going to be high chances of mortality or neurological disorders developed. So yes, you should probably prioritize the child who is going to experience a life experience that could be made better or worse depending on how far along you come to term with that child. So if it is before, like what, say 20 weeks or something, I'm fine with abortions happening. Yes.
After, you mean, right? After? Is that what you said?
No, before.
Or before. Sorry, before. Right. You're right.
I'm fine. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, and I guess this is my question. Is like I keep asking, like, why is that the case? And you're saying it's because they're inside of the body. That's where I'm confused. It's like, because you said originally, right? Your original point is that the reason why is because they're dependent on the mother. Right? Is that yes or no?
No, the original reason I said is that they have no agency without the mother.
Yes, so they're dependent on the mother, right?
No, it's not that, like...
Can you define it then? Can you define the agency?
It's not that they're dependent on the mother. It's that, like, literally without that mom, they would not exist whatsoever at any point in time.
That they wouldn't exist. They wouldn't exist, as in if, like, you took them out, they would just die?
Yes. If it's not, like, what, like I said, like, what, 22, 23 weeks, they were more than likely just going to end up, like, no, not more than likely. They're 100% likely going to just die. They're not going to survive whatsoever.
It has nothing to do with the dependency. Like, as in, like you having to take care of the kid, that doesn't matter. It's just the kid would die if, like, they were removed, basically.
Essentially, yes.
Okay.
They wouldn't have a conscious experience at all. They would just cease. They wouldn't have a conscious experience at that point.
So your argument, like, I'm just kind of, like, inferring your argument here, is that if the child cannot survive, that the value of that child's life is dependent on whether or not the mother wants them or not. Right?
No.
Why not?
The value of the child's life becomes more and more important that the longer the gestation period happens, because we can tell by the length of the birth that there are intentions of bringing this child to fruition. So if someone just randomly said out of nowhere, like before 20 weeks, they wanted to have an abortion or something, I think that's fine. But like after you get to like the part where they start getting like human conscious experiences and stuff, and they can potentially live outside the womb without the mother like being attached, like that's when you start valuing the child's life more than
the value of the human life is dependent solely on the mother's decision, decision of whether or not it has value up to 20 weeks, at which point it transforms into always.
No, it doesn't transform into always.
Wait, what do you... Okay. Can you explain that?
Before 20 weeks, I don't believe that they have human conscious like experience whatsoever. something like that. I keep telling you, I don't really
What do you
care
mean
about
by
the
conscious?
other to it.
Wait, you can't.
Like,
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm pretty sure like you get like actual like human experiences of like, I just
Like nervous system. Nervous system's like
not like
19,
not like nervous system,
19
but
days.
like
Nervous
no,
system
not
develops
nervous
19 days.
system.
19 days is when you get the first.
Like there are studies where they determine when like consciousness and stuff starts being like apparent, and like around that like 21 to 22 something week mark is like when it starts to like, you know,
So like I guess
becoming
my
more
question
apparent.
is, when does the child become a person? Right? Because like we confer rights onto people, right? So at what
Mhm.
point is that personhood given to the child? And that's why I asked, like, is it dependent on whether or not the mother wants them or not? Is that what changes
No,
them
it's
from not having it or not?
it depends on if it can survive outside of the mother's body without the help of the mother.
So they're not the person before that. Before
They
20
are a
weeks, they're
person.
not a person.
Well, no, yes, yes. Before 20 weeks, they're not a person. Yes, they're just like a concept, pretty much. Like they're
A
developing into a they're like developing into a potential person, but at that point, like there's nothing like realized there. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's not like
So it's just
it's
like
not like the same thing. It's not like the same thing if like 22, 23 weeks, like the baby like is going to actually have that like experience, like coming out or being induced early or stuff like that. Like, yeah, it's like.
So like say in the future, right, when our technology gets better, right? And let's say that at 10 weeks we're able to extract the child and like let them live, like we're able to induce the I don't know, teleport the baby out or do a surgery. Say we can do a surgery and take the kid out and put them into like an artificial like womb. Is there the value of their life more important then? Because then their life has value, right? At 10 weeks.
Well, at that point, like if it's literally being sustained by artificial life, then the agency of the mother no longer really matters at that point, does it?
Yeah. So this is my point. It's like so it's the mother who determines the value. That's what I meant. That's what I was asking.
No, because not even in that scenario, because it's the life is being sustained by artificial life. So it's no
I meant
longer
in the current
attached to the
scenario.
mother.
In the current scenario, it is.
No, you said in the You said in the future, though.
Well, yeah,
like
yeah,
in
but,
that scenario.
Yeah, okay. So in the future, in the future, it's the future. Right? It's like so now going back to the point of me talking about the future was that the value of the human life changes depending on technology. To you, that's the point of
not
that.
even. Well, no, not even depend. Well, I mean, like I guess it like no, like if okay, so I'll explain it again because I think this is important.
Sure.
The child not being able to survive outside of the mother's body, that is important to actually think about. Okay, like at that point, like you probably shouldn't have like that deep of a connection to something that literally actually can't survive unless the mother also survives.
Wait, why
and
not?
That's not always guaranteed.
Wait, you shouldn't have a connection.
You shouldn't have the same connection before it can actually survive outside of the mother's womb. And what I mean by that is like post the like 20 to 19 week period, you should probably like expect that potentially something could happen to where this child might not come to fruition. But as the longer you get to like, 22, 23 weeks, that is when you start prioritizing the baby's agency, because now you're prioritizing their life experience, which is more important at that point than like what the mother wants in that moment. Like if it's just a momentary decision, like, oh yeah, I just don't want the baby, that's cringe, that's stupid. But like if it's like your child is going to be born and it literally cannot breathe on its own whatsoever, it's going to suffocate and die, like I feel like you should probably be okay with that. No? Yes?
Well, I mean that would change, right, according to technology. That's why I brought the technology thing. Right? So the value of the human is dependent on technology. So like technology in the future, if we have a capability of extracting them at 10 weeks and then like actually housing them in like an artificial womb, then like so babies in the future are worth more than they are now at an earlier stage.
Well, because currently, well, I'm not saying they're worth more or less. That's like cringe. It's weird.
Well, no, I mean it would be, because when are the rights conferred? The rights would be conferred earlier, correct?
It's just that because in your future scenario, the mother's agency is no longer a factor like it is today. The mother is no longer like permanently attached to that child until like they give birth. If you can extract that child and sustain it with artificial life, yes, it's going to have like way more rights and agency than like our current scenario of where it literally can't survive outside of the womb until like
which would mean that the worth of the child, the personhood of the child, whether or not they deserve rights, is dependent on whether the mom wants them or not pre-20, correct?
I wouldn't say exactly that. No, I feel like this is just like
what could it be then? Because if the mother says the mother has the child, right, and this is like 19, let's say like 19 weeks, the mother says, "I want to have this child," then they have value, that they're a human person, correct? Which is why like you can't just like punch out the you can't, if you stab the child, then that would be murder, correct?
Yeah.
Like say I had a baby deleter bullet and then like I could shoot the baby at 19 months, that shouldn't be allowed, right?
Because at that point, if you're so if the baby is still inside the mom and you're killing the mother in any way,
I'm just killing the baby. The baby killer bullet.
You're assuming, with the baby killer bullet, just with the baby killer bullet.
Yeah. Special technique.
That'd still be immoral because
why?
Yeah, it's because it's not your decision.
Okay, so the reason it's immoral is that but if the woman didn't want it, and then a doctor was like aborted the baby, used the baby killer, then it's fine.
Well, that's a professional scenario where like there's guidance and all these other factors involved, and it's not usually just like, well, I mean, like, yeah, like if somebody said, yeah, I didn't want to get pregnant, we used contraceptives, we still got pregnant, I don't want to have this kid, I made that apparent when we did that stuff, then yeah, why can't professionals just deal with that?
So we can infer then that the value of the child, the value of the personhood and their rights is dependent on whether or not the mom wants them.
Up to like 20, 21 weeks. Yeah.
At 19, at 19 weeks.
19 weeks. Yeah.
So it's subjective. The human worth is subjective.
It's not really subjective.
It is though. Honestly. It's literally subjective because it's based on the determination of the mother. The mother makes a choice. It's dependent on her mind and her thoughts and what she wants. Subjective. That's what it means. That's what subjective means.
It's not always determined by her mind and her wants and all that stuff. It's not always.
But it is. So what else could it be? I mean, they decide. They say, "I want the kid." Okay, good. It's a person. I don't want the kid.
I want the kid, and then the baby dies inside of me. It still classifies as an abortion, correct?
Wait, say again. Sorry.
I want the kid, and then the baby dies inside of me. That still classifies like as an abortion, right?
If you say you want the kid, and then you kill the baby,
no,
or the kid just dies. It's a miscarriage. It's not an abortion. Abortion is an intentional act.
To get rid of the child early would be like aborting that fetus, correct? Or is it just
abortion is an intentional act.
I don't really care too much about the topic.
Abortion is an intentional act. It's when you specifically kill the baby. That's what abortion is.
I don't like the framing of it though.
Kill?
It feels like really silly.
Of kill? Yeah, I mean it's nasty.
We're like it's because like it feels like it's putting more like how do I say it? It's like you're controlling women and you're like, yeah, if you don't do this thing that I want you to do for XYZ, however months to bring this child to term, then you are morally responsible and culpable for whatever I want to say about how you decided to get rid of that child. Like, I don't know, it just feels like...
Yeah, I mean, they decided to kill the baby, so they killed the baby.
So like, there's just no like other factors, like there's no like with murder, for example, like there's no difference between like murder and then like self-defense that resolves in murder or something.
That's not murder.
There's no like difference.
Murder. Self-defense is not murder. It's not defined as murder.
You get what I mean. Like there's like no difference between taking a life in that scenario.
No, there's a difference. It's the same. It's not the same thing at all. Self-defense and murder are like not even like remotely like the same thing.
I don't Look, I don't want to get too pedantic on the topics. I'm slow, okay? I'm mentally
Mm-hmm.
fucking deficient, okay?
No worries.
I don't want to get too caught in on like the words and stuff
It's
like that.
important
But
though.
I think you understand what I mean.
About
Is there no value in looking at the scenarios and engaging in nuance to determine what should be like the like okay?
determining what should be okay. Well, I think in almost every case,
Mhm.
it wouldn't be, because you're still killing a person. So I just don't understand.
So
I don't
you
see like what scenario you could set up in which it would be okay. The only scenario would be like if it truly were the life of the mother, because then you're life for life at that point, right?
well, I don't even want to engage in the life of the mother thing. Like we don't even have to go like that far.
Yeah,
Like
every other
you
reason is
just
bad,
you
in my opinion.
you just okay. So you just like personally from like this is what I'm getting from what like I'm getting interacting with you so
Mm-hmm.
far.
Sure.
I personally, you don't care about the other life experiences and future expectations when it comes to like
Go
how
ahead.
that child will experience life in the future. You just care about the life in general,
So
and
like,
that's like
so hold on. So,
more
so
important than anything.
this is actually really important. So you think that the value of the child's life is dependent on like how good of a life that they possibly will live in the future? So
I
like
mean,
their value,
potentially,
their
there's
personhood is
new
dependent on that.
well there's nuance to me engaged there. Like if for
What's the
example,
nuance?
someone is in a scenario like I'll use my mom as an example.
Okay.
She was convinced by my dad
Mm-hmm.
to uproot her life,
Mm-hmm.
and then once he got in trouble or whatever with the law,
Yep.
he wasn't around, and she suddenly had to take care of kids that she didn't have a job to take care of and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like in that scenario, do you not think that like a doctor or professionals can be like,
So do you understand what you're
yeah,
saying by this? Do you understand what you're saying by this? What you're
hmm?
saying is that the value of the person, of the child, is dependent on the circumstances in which they will be born into. That's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying that it's valuable to engage in nuance there. I'm not
What
saying.
do you mean by
See,
that?
you're trying to. Okay, I feel like you're trying to engage in like
Mm-hmm.
ultimate, like deterministic, like
It's not
ultimate
deterministic.
deterministic
What do you mean by
factor that every baby killing abortion thing is just wrong, and there's no nuance worthy to engage with besides like
Would you
the
say that all murder is
extremes.
wrong? Would you say that? Would you say that all murder is wrong? Definitionally, murder.
Definitionally, murder
Hmm?
for the most part, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
Uh huh.
No,
Why not?
I think I explained it. I think I explained it pretty. I think at 22 weeks, that's when you can start calling it like murder, maybe.
No, but my point is that what you're saying is that the value of the baby depends on the circumstances, right? That's what you're saying.
No,
What
I'm
was
not.
the whole thing
No,
about the? Because you talked about
no,
your mom and about how like they're in the
no.
she was in a bad
I'm
situation,
saying
and then like
there
your
is.
dad went to was it to jail, and then like now she had the child, and like she didn't know what to do with it, right? Like
There,
yeah.
I'm saying that there is nuance worthy to engage with. I'm not saying that the value is simply determined by the living situation that the child will be placed in. No, I'm not saying that.
It
I'm
either
saying
has
that.
value or doesn't, right?
No, I'm saying that there are valid reasons that professionals should be able to engage with to come to the best determination for what would be best for the mother and their well-being. Like I'm going to be real, I keep saying it over and over and over and over and over again. I
Uh-huh.
don't care if the baby can't survive before what 22 23 weeks. I don't pass before then. I personally, I just don't give a fuck. You can moral grandstand me or whatever, I just don't care because it's morally loading past that point.
So
The
your
baby has no
morality
chance.
is based on not caring.
My morality is not based on not caring. My morality is just simply understanding that baby is not going to survive if the mother decided that they didn't want it in that moment. But past
Yes,
22,
which would make the value of the baby subjective.
no, I'm
Right?
saying past 22 to
How can it be
24.
anything but subjective?
No,
Go ahead.
What do you think about trans suicide rates?
what? Wait, so you don't
You're
you
not
don't know?
yanking me around on this shit anymore.
What
What
do you
do you
mean
think about
yanking you
trans
around on it?
suicide rate?
That was what
What do
we
you
were
think
talking
about
about.
trans suicide rates?
I mean, I guess I could talk about it.
What do you think
So,
about them?
what do I think about them? I think that suicide
What do you
is
know about
bad.
trans? What do you know about trans healthcare?
I don't. There's a lot of nuance there.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So we can engage in nuance with the trans healthcare
Oh
right now,
yeah.
but probably
Uh
not the
huh.
abortion. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's engage with the trans healthcare.
Okay. Go ahead.
So, do you think it's worth it for people like us to be able to receive our healthcare, which we have been studied and this has been a thing for like fucking ever? And do
Uh huh.
you think it's like worth it for us to get gender affirming care?
I think there's a lot of nuance involved in that.
Oh, so there's a lot of nuance. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, what do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, it depends. There's a lot of nuance involved.
Well, can you explain it?
No, it's just there's nuance.
Well, can you determine like who is the person living that life?
I think there's a lot of nuance on whether or not like how they live their life.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So we can engage in a lot of nuance here, but we can't with the abortion for
You
some
know what I'm
reason.
saying? It's like this was the argument earlier. This is the argument you were making earlier.
No, it wasn't actually.
Okay, I'll
Well,
engage in it. I'll engage
hold
in
on,
it for
wait a
real.
minute,
I'll engage
wait a
in it
minute.
for real. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
So
engage
let's
with it. Engage with it,
let's go for
please.
real. Can you start from the beginning? So you said something about trans suicide rates. Like what about them?
What do you think about trans suicide rates?
Suicide's
Like
bad.
we have to. Well, okay. Well,
Mhm.
we determine that with gender affirming care, trans people live a longer, healthier, successful life than they would without gender affirming care.
Actually,
So,
Cass doesn't show that. That's wrong.
Cass,
That's actually wrong, is according
well,
to Cass. Yeah.
Fuck me. I guess I'm just fucking. I'm just not living this life.
No,
Okay.
that's the data. That's statistical
Oh,
data from
so
Cass.
wait, you're not interested in hearing what I have to say right now, right? You just
No, go
want to
ahead.
debunk, like.
No, go
just-
ahead. But then I'm just saying that statistically what you're saying
I'm
is wrong.
interested in your view. I'm interested in your view. Whoa, hold on, wait. So I guess explain your statistics that you're going to explain to me real quick.
Yeah, well, the Cass study actually shows that it doesn't actually gender affirming care for like kids doesn't actually like lower the rate of suicide.
Why? Whoa! Why did I say trans suicide rates? What did I ever say? Kids? Did I say
so you
gender
mean, like-
affirming care?
Yeah. So let me see. For adults,
Interesting.
specifically.
Interesting.
Why is that?
Interesting. I mean, I just said trans healthcare, which has been studied, and we
Yeah, well, that's
we
the
have
data that we have.
professionals
We have data for the child rates. Mhm.
Interesting. Okay, so give me your what's your take on like trans healthcare and suicide rates and stuff? So, like, I'm just saying this like as a fact.
Mhm.
Trans people as a whole, by going through their gender affirming care, typically
the
they
data
have
for
a
that?
better.
Can you show me
One moment,
the study so I can see it?
Give me 1 moment. Jesus.
Ba-bum.
1 moment.
Yeah, the only one I know is the Cass study. The Cass study shows that there isn't actually like a decrease in suicide
you were
rates.
focused on trans kids, so I just don't think
Yeah.
you're taking me
So I mean,
seriously.
if there's a difference for adults, then sure, like we can take a look at that data.
There shouldn't be a difference, actually. Trans people, this shouldn't matter. It's our healthcare. Do you know anything about our healthcare?
Wait, what do you
What do you
mean? What do you mean it doesn't matter?
how-
You're the one that
how
brought
do-
up suicide rates.
Explain how children get on hormone replacement therapy, please.
How children get on hormone replacement therapy? Can you tell me?
Yes.
Go ahead, why don't you
In your
tell
own
me?
words, please. Could you tell me?
How they get on like nowadays? I don't know. I'm assuming
Well,
they go to the
what's your
doctor
assumption?
and then the doctor.
How long do you think that takes?
I don't know. You tell me.
So you just okay. So you just don't. Okay. What's the normal reasons for desistance rates?
What is it?
Well, can you give me in your own words? I'm asking you these questions.
No,
I just want to know how
I'm
much you
asking
know
you.
about. I just want to know how much you know about our healthcare. I mean, like you were
tell
very
me.
interested. Well, hold on. Can I explain this? You were very
Yeah.
interested in pulling up the cast reviews and debunk me on the trans kids shit. But like,
That's 'cause the one I
what do
know.
you know? What do you know about our healthcare entirely? Do you actually care about our healthcare and like us as people, or like what's going on?
Do I care about trans health, like your healthcare, and
Well, our
you as
healthcare-
people?
Yes,
Yeah, well, also I do
yes.
care about trans people as people. I don't know what I don't know if the treatments that are prescribed by people are effective.
Hmm.
I mean, again, pointing
You
to
sure
Cass,
you don't know?
it doesn't show that there's actually a reduction in suicide rate.
I personally just don't think you care. Honestly, I
Well,
just don't think you care.
I can't really. That's not something I can rebut.
Oh, I mean, you could rebut it technically. I mean,
No, I can't. How can I
could.
rebut it? You said I don't care. I mean, you said I don't care. I said I do care, and then
No, I said I don't think you care. Personally, I
well,
don't think you care.
what would I need to do to show that I care?
Well, I asked you simple questions about like, well, you brought up the topic of trans kids, or you is focused on trans kids. So I asked you like,
because it's the information I know.
how do trans kids get on hormone replacement therapy, or like what, like how long does this go? Like these are the statistics you're looking at, correct?
Well, I mean, again, it
So, like,
depends. It depends on the time, right? And it also widely
Oh.
varies depending on like jurisdiction, right? But
Damn.
typically they would go to, I suppose, a therapist. In which place the therapist would make the determination, and then they would go to a doctor slash endocrinologist, in like which they would receive the hormones. Or I guess it also depends on it depends on the availability of it as well. Like the places, it really depends on the state. Like each state is different.
Interesting.
Yeah, is that wrong?
No, that's actually pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you can engage with that to like that degree, how come every time I say something like on abortion, you kind of like it's always bad to kill the child, and
Wait, what?
regardless of whatever nuance like presented to you is just
What are you
like it's
talking
always
about?
bad regardless.
I don't know what you're talking
Can you
about.
explain that? I think you do know
No,
what
I
I'm
really
talking
don't.
about.
Wait, what do you mean? Okay, can you like tell me what you're accusing me of?
I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm asking you a question.
Okay, can you ask it like in a
How come
okay?
you're
How
able
come?
now to engage with such a serious degree of nuance
Uh-huh.
for whatever reason, but whenever I say anything related to abortion,
I'm treating this
I
exactly
say
the
it,
same how I did
no,
before.
you
It
treat
is.
it like I have to repeat myself over and over and over again, over and over and over again. You just want to
No,
keep
because you never
repeating.
answered the
I
question
think it's
before. You
bad.
never answered the question
Well,
before. You didn't.
your answer, yes, I have.
No, because okay, so the logical line that we went by infers that the value of the child is subjective as to the that's the only logical conclusion you could make by that route. And then when I said that, you said that's not true, which doesn't make logical sense. Which is why I was confused. And then you said that there was nuance, and I said, okay, well, what do you mean by
What
that?
So what was my position initially? Did I come in here and I say like specifically about like the weeks and stuff, and when I start like actually caring?
No, I wanted to know what your position was on it, and your position
Oh,
later was that you didn't really answer, so I actually don't even know what you're.
I thought I
Other than
answered a couple
the
times.
fact that you have a 20 week like hard cutoff, you didn't really like answer whether or not the child had value before that.
I did. I said when the child literally can't exist without the mother's body, then no, the child just has no value in my mind.
So it has no value. So, and this is what I was asking, because I asked you then, right? So if
In
you were to
my mind,
if you
I'm
were
not
to
the
use the
mother of
baby
that
killing
child.
bullet, wait, you're not the mother of the child. So the mother is the mind of the mother, as in like the psychology of the mother, determines whether or not the child is like a person. That's what I mean. I don't know what you mean. Like I'm
No,
confused.
I keep saying it over and over and over again.
But you're
Like
not answering it though.
if the child can't survive without the mother before whatever fucking week it is,
Yes, I
before
know
it
that.
can actually survive outside the womb,
Yes.
then I personally don't see that thing as a child, because it's basically a parasite to me. Okay, it's not the same thing.
So the child's value is not is zero before 20 weeks.
I don't call
it's
it.
zero.
I don't call it
one day before 20. It's zero.
I don't call it a
No
child.
value.
It's a potential child. It's a potential child, but it's not like a child that can actually like experience that like lived.
Okay, so can you explain that? Can you explain like can you explain why it's not a child? Like what's the difference? The difference is that it can live outside or not. That's what determines the value.
Can we go back to the trans stuff? I guess.
Sure, I mean, you went back to this, so I was going back to it because you wanted to go back to it. I was totally fine in the other.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can just go back to the trans stuff,
Sure.
because it's just yeah. I'll just keep repeating myself on that endlessly.
Okay, go ahead.
So like Do you think it's valuable to be interested in just debunking the things that I'm saying on like trans healthcare rather than just like listening and being interested in what I'm saying?
Wait, wait, can you say that again? I didn't really get it.
Do you believe that it's valuable to be interested in debunking my claims about trans healthcare rather than listening to what I'm speaking and saying?
Well, I mean, I think you speaking and saying doesn't necessarily make the thing true or not.
So are you just not interested in speaking to me
No,
about
I mean, I'm
this
interested
stuff?
in speaking and understanding like what you mean.
Well, I'm trying to ask you like why you thought it was like appropriate to bring up the cast review and stuff when I'm just like, asking you questions on what you think
Yeah, well,
about
because
trans
you asked
suicide
me about
rates and
suicide rates,
healthcare
right?
and stuff.
So this is the line of logic, okay? So you asked me for what I thought of the suicide rates,
Mm-hmm.
and what did I think about? Was it? I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. You brought up that. How do I feel about the trans suicide rates and them being high? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that what you were talking about? And then I
Yeah, I
brought
said
up,
that.
and then you tied that to care, in which I responded that the data in the cast review doesn't show an actual like correlation with a reduction. That's why I brought it
And you
up.
said, then you focused on children when I just said trans people in general
Yeah.
are
So then I
healthcare.
asked you. Then like, what's the like? Is there a differentiation for adults? I don't know. I asked you for the data on that. Mm-hmm. Unless you want to talk more philosophically about it and like not really in the data, we could do that if you want. Uh-huh.
I'm trying to speak to you. I'm not trying to speak to a performative fucking you're
I'm not
going to
performative.
clip chip me. I don't well look, you can say that. I just don't care. This is like the
It was a little
experience that
rude
I
of me
pushed.
to do the thing earlier where when I mimicked your argumentative structure. Like that was a little bit rude. I will admit.
Okay.
Sorry about
Well,
that.
like I actually like speaking to the person. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to speak to like I actually want to understand what you think about these things and what you
Sure.
understand about these things. Initially, it seems like you didn't understand anything about these things besides the cast review to
Okay.
debunk my gender affirming care thing.
Okay.
So like do you personally think like there is just like no or actually no, let me not even ask this question. Do you understand what the normal causes of desistance usually is?
No. What is that?
It is typically societal factors induced by family, friends, people around them who typically make them feel the way that they do about being visibly trans and visibly on this type of like medication and stuff. Do you
So
seriously like
then,
not know anything about that?
so what you're saying then? So hold on. So are you saying then that you can become not trans by pressure?
No, I'm not. No, 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 no.
Okay.
I'm saying that typically speaking,
Can you define
people
desistance first, just
don't
so I know what we're talking about the same thing?
desistance as in they detransition
Mm-hmm.
for whatever reason that may be, which is
Mm-hmm.
only like I'll say a 2 to 5% range of our 1 to 2% world population, which is so it's astronomically small population of people. But typically,
Uh-huh.
when they desist or detransition,
Mm-hmm.
it is typically not because it is them figuring out that they aren't trans. They typically realize that they're trans if they're going through the surgeries and going through hormone therapy and all that stuff. They typically understand this and they know that about themselves. Typically, it is reported that they detransition because of societal factors, like the people around them
Mm-hmm.
treating them personally, treating them in a malicious, negative way that is very apparent because of the
Mm-hmm.
way they look, the way they sound, the way they exist in the world
Okay.
as trans. And it's very difficult to, I guess, talk about these things because like
So
the immediate reaction is to kind of like debate trans people on like our healthcare and stuff like that.
hold on. So what you're saying though, right? So I mean, I just want to be clear. What you're saying is that by doing those things and pressuring people away from being trans, that they stop wanting to be trans?
It's not that they stop wanting to be trans. They just believe that by no longer transitioning or like they just don't have the
Did they say
means to
that?
continue
How do you know that?
transitioning. Well, in the studies, they say that their reason for it's like I said, it's an astronomical small fucking 2 to 5% of our
Uh-huh.
1 to 2% population. Okay,
Okay. Uh-huh.
so like astronomically small.
Yeah.
They say that the reason they personally detransition, or at least the most cited reason, is not because they realize that they're being trans. It's that the people around them treat them so poorly for being trans that continuing healthcare is detrimental to their lived experience.
So they don't need it then. So like by doing that, you create a situation in which they don't need it, because you said that they detransition and then they're okay.
No, they do need it. It's that people make them feel so suicidal.
But then they don't do it anymore.
Horrible about. That's not good.
Why?
Do you think people should be able to peer pressure you out of getting knee surgery?
Knee surgery? What does it have to do with
getting
anything?
an artificial limb? Like, why do you think it's okay for people to peer pressure trans people out of getting healthcare that improves their life or standard of living?
That's just your prescription for what should happen. Like to them, like these people are saying that like they got pressured out of it and then now they don't want to do it.
No, I didn't say that. They didn't get pressured out of it to where they don't want to do it. They get pressured out of it because their lived experience is so poor being visibly trans that they believe that they should just not continue transitioning.
So you're saying people don't have to do it then? They don't have to do it then?
What? No, that is not what I'm saying. I'm saying that people are so disgusting towards trans people.
Do they all kill themselves after?
No, they don't all kill themselves after.
So they're saying that you don't have to do it then?
So do you not care, I guess?
No, I do care. I'm asking because the reason I asked about if they kill themselves after, because if they always kill themselves after, then that would be data, like proof data that we can say that that's bad. That's what I was asking you, because I didn't know if there's data. Do you have data on that?
Wait. So, okay, this is where we're going to loop back to the abortion thing.
Wait, what?
So, like, the value of the life here is just the most important factor. So, no other factor involved, like peer pressuring that person into not receiving the medical care that was studied and tailored for them. Well, like, that's okay.
I'm using it for your argument. Is that if we can prove, right? So, like, if we can prove for sure that pressuring people to detransition and then they detransition and then they kill themselves after, then we can prove that it's bad to do that, to detransition people, right? That's why I'm asking if you had the data for it. Like, then we could prove it, which would be like huge for your case, right?
What the fuck did I just listen to?
Do you want me to say it slower?
So, like, do you value human life to the same degree that I do?
What do you mean? Yeah, I don't want them to kill themselves. That's my point. My point is I don't want them to kill themselves. And like, if you are able to draw like a correlation that detransitioning causes a higher rate of killing themselves, then we could use that to say that it's a bad thing. Which would be good. Which would be good for the. Well, I mean, do you know? Like, I mean, you know a lot about it, right?
I think you can look up the specific suicide statistics and stuff on your own. Personally, I think you're super interested in that personally. But if we can just focus on, do you value human life to the same degree that I do?
I think higher, actually.
Higher? Are you sure? Mm-hmm. So like, there's nothing wrong with, like, again, I'm going to ask this again, so I want an answer to this. Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with people who aren't experiencing this healthcare to peer pressure others who are experiencing this healthcare out of taking healthcare that improves their standard of living.
There's, I guess what I'm saying is I don't know if that proves that it actually does increase their standard of living for every person.
Okay, I'm going to ask you again.
I think it depends.
Do you Leaflit think it is okay for people to peer pressure other people out of taking healthcare that has been proved and studied to improve our standard of healthcare?
Okay, I have a question for you first. This is actually really related.
No, you have to answer my question, please.
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Answer it, please.
Can you start over and answer it? That way I can fully listen. I'm fully listening.
Do you believe it is okay for people who aren't experiencing our healthcare to peer pressure other people out of taking healthcare that improves our standard of living? Do you think that is okay?
I think that
personally.
Okay, go ahead. Me personally?
Personally. Yes, you personally.
It depends on the person, I think. because there's a lot of different things that could cause transgenderism. So like, I'll give you an example of a case in which peer pressuring a person to change their lifestyle is a good thing, right? So say a person was like really fat, and then we told them like, hey, fat ass, like fucking go exercise. We peer pressured the shit out of them.
This isn't the same thing.
And then they lost weight. Then that would be a case in which the peer pressure was good.
This isn't the same thing. This isn't the same thing.
Well, I mean, there's another case with a trans person, right? And we don't know, you know, as far as them being trans, it's kind of hard to tell, like how. I think it's hard to tell, really, without actually trying to dig into it and pressure them in the first place to determine whether or not a person is trans. So if you had someone on the fence that said that they were trans, and then you told them like, don't be trans, and then they were able to reach a point where they did transition, that would be a good result. So
you think it's more likely that people like just openly come out?
Well, like I had a friend, right? I had a friend that said that they were trans. They told me they were trans. And then I talked to them about it, and I convinced them out of it. And they thanked me later. They thanked me like a year later.
Fucking shit. You convinced them out of it? You didn't ask them to go to a professional? You convinced them out of it? What the fuck?
Well, it took a while. So like I told them.
Holy shit.
I mean, I told them basically that they didn't have to do it, and it was totally fine being like a guy that was girly. And they still went along with it online for a while, but then they really thought about it, and then they made the determination that it was actually better for them to not transition. And I think that's a good result, to be honest.
So like instead of like respecting like health professionals, medical care, and like, you know, treatment studies, like
they can be wrong.
It's not like deterministic that person is trans, obviously, because you know they didn't go through the treatment.
People detransition, right?
Like,
so.
Yes, but like you didn't even want them to be evaluated by like a professional whatsoever. You just thought it was like appropriate on your own to just, you know, think trans healthcare probably bad, and it's better if you just don't. And like, you know,
I didn't say that. Leaflit. I told them. Let me tell you what I actually told them.
I'm pretty sure that's.
Let me tell you what I actually told them. I told them that actually what I told them is actually like I don't think it's transphobic at all. I told them like, listen, like I just want you to understand, because like everybody was telling them that, like, you know, everybody was basically patting them on the back for like coming out, and I basically told them like, as your friend, you know, I just want to tell you that you don't have to do this, and that if you determine that you're okay living as a guy, you can be a girly guy. You can be a guy that likes cute things and likes to dress up like in girl clothes and have more of a feminine attire, and that's totally fine. And I told them, but if you go through it and you determine like, you know, actually like this, I actually am trans, and I told them like, yeah, you're my friend. Of course I'm gonna be there for you. So that's what I told them. And then through their own determination, they determined that actually I'm okay with being a feminine guy. And then they despite being on that road to go through it, they backed out. So like I have personal experience with this.
I think that's a whole lot of yapping to just say you never wanted them to experience professional like evaluation. Like you just didn't want that to happen.
No, I told them that they could do that. I told them they should seek therapy. I did.
Oh, you didn't mention that. So, but, okay, I believe you. I believe you. I believe you. But like you just think it's like appropriate to like do that though, because it happened once where like your friend.
Yeah, of course. Like, you should explore other options. Like just because you have feelings that you believe that you're the other gender doesn't mean that you should immediately do it. This is a big lifelong decision, something that you should think about, like all of the options.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is
a very balanced point of view, I think.
When you go through professional evaluations, they go through all this. Yeah,
but like for example, in this case, right, like I knew my friend a lot more than like a therapist would, right, because I've known them for years. I've known them for years, so like, you know, like I've always noticed that they were kind of a girly guy, right? So that's why I went through that for
years. So like they shouldn't have got knee surgery. Like personally, they shouldn't have got it.
Wait, what? That doesn't have nothing to do with it. Like knee surgery? What are you talking about?
Well, you knew them personally, so they shouldn't have got that treatment. I don't know. Like that's an interesting explanation. For why you think it's okay.
They came up with the decision themselves. I didn't.
Well, I'm not saying
it's not like I pointed a gun at their head and told them like, you know, you're not gonna become trans, or I'm gonna shoot you. It's not like I did that.
You're currently taking credit right now. You're describing right now. I spoke to my friend and I let them know that it's okay to be a feminine boy and stuff.
I think it had a big effect on it. They told me themselves, by the way. It wasn't like, that's not me saying it had a big effect on it. That's my friend telling me that. My friend said that.
This isn't the point. This isn't the point. I'm saying you
this is the point,
don't
though.
respect.
You told me it was me.
You don't respect our healthcare. You don't
What do you
respect
mean?
our healthcare.
What do you mean I don't respect your healthcare? It was wrong in the case of my friend.
What?
It was wrong in the case of my friend.
How do you know?
Because they told me.
How do they know? They never got evaluated.
I'm not sure.
They came up.
No, I told them that they should go seek help. I don't know what happened in like the year since they told me.
We're just saying shit then. Like this is
no. What do you mean?
So your
idea of the trans thing, right? Like your idea is it has to be. You're the one who's saying it has to be like this specific way, and that's it. Like there's no alternate thing that could be going on.
I'm not saying that, actually. I'm just pointing out that you just have no interest in the professional side of our healthcare. Like
what do you mean?
You don't want. You prioritize well, at least the way you explained it, you prioritize giving your friend the information you thought that they needed to, like you needed to give them.
Well, yeah, they were getting that information from other people, like the other side of the argument. They were getting from other people, so I was presenting a counter argument. Because I cared about them.
Okay. All right.
Do you have any other questions?
I don't know. Do you have any questions? I mean, I'm here. I'm here all night.
I mean, I was wondering about the abortion thing. I mean, I'm letting. It's your turn. It's your turn. Go ahead. You can submit to me the scrutiny. It's your turn.
How come y'all are like trying to leverage the Asmongold thing so heavily?
Y'all are trying to leverage the Asmongold thing, like him.
When I say y'all, it's because I'm like, yeah, but y'all as in like
right.
Asmongold is banned clearly for a while. Like he's been on like a crusade of saying some wild, abhorrent shit. Hassan has been banned at least I think 2 times. I think in this.
He got banned a lot less. Like Hassan has said a lot worse things, and he's gotten banned for a lot less than Aspen.
But he's gotten banned like twice in the span it took Aspen to get banned.
But the amount, right? So, like the duration. Okay, go ahead.
This is important. Okay, the fact is that Asmongold is actually like one time getting banned on like.
He got banned before.
For a long,
this is the first time.
Well, for a long time now, he has not been banned for all the shit that he has been saying.
Can you give me an example of something that he said that's awful? That's ban-worthy. Like that's ban-worthy. That's like something that Hassan wouldn't have said.
There's a solution, but no one wants to talk about that because it'll feel bad. Or let's round up all these people and put them in the work camps and XYZ.
Like who? Sorry, like who is he talking about specifically?
Well, I guess the fucking the solution one is about Iran. And the round up people in work camps one is the people who are mentally deficient in some way.
Like
I think
that
was
what who are
or like slow, like Asmongold.
Like slow.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem right.
It's an older camp. It's an older clip. So
is it currently? Do you have the exact clip, or do you have a post on that? Like, I think the details matter here.
I mean, the details matter, but like, if people actually give a shit, which people just don't give a shit, honestly, like they'll go and look up the fucking clip. But like, I'm not trying to fucking. I honestly just don't give a fuck about this whole like online space shit. I want to know why like. It's acceptable for people like y'all to basically denigrate trans people and just spread misinformation.
Wait, denigrate trans people? Like, do you think I'm denigrating trans people?
I think by like knowing nothing about our healthcare, pretty much. I think
you said yourself that I knew about that one thing. So obviously I know some things.
Well, yeah,
I don't think everybody knows everything, right?
No, I mean it took you a while to come to that. I mean, I wouldn't put it past you to start reading something from the cast review or fucking look something up.
I'm actually looking at your model. I have like some papers, but they're mostly on the. I have some papers, but they're mostly about like abortion.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm not really too interested in the abortion thing because I just don't think you care about human life to the same degree that I do.
I mean, I disagree.
Oh, well,
because I don't want to. I don't think that the value of human life is dependent on. It's not subjective. as to like the
I,
ideas of like the person's mother?
I think that the
So I think
human
I value it
experience
higher.
is. I think the human experience of everyone involved is actually more valuable than just the specific value of a one party.
So if a
I
person would have a
understand.
better human experience by killing you, is that okay?
No,
Why not?
because I have my own agency. I didn't consent to being killed. No, do I?
The baby doesn't consent to being killed.
The baby has no agency besides before like what 22 something weeks before it can actually
So
live outside of the mother.
let's say that like you get in a car accident and then you're in a coma, but you're gonna wake up in
Mhm.
say like 9 months. Can I kill you? Because
You
you have no
don't know
agency.
that.
You have no agency.
You literally don't know that.
Let's say we
And
did for the sake of
personally,
argument. For the sake of argument, the doctor said, "I know that in 9 months this person will wake up." And I said, "Well, they have no agency now," and then I just shoot you in the face.
well, in that case, I do have agency because the professional
No,
doctor is saying,
you're KO'd.
I'm going to wake up in 9 months. So yes, I do have agency in that case.
No.
They're determining I'm going to survive.
You don't
Yes.
because you can't do anything to stop it. You have no say. You're unconscious, so you have no agency.
I'm not connected to the what hold on, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're so now you're comparing like me and my like lived life experience. Like I'm going through the life I've been through right now, like that's comparable to a baby who can't survive outside of the mother. Like that's
in
comparable.
fact, I'd say the baby actually has more because they have more life potential.
Wait,
because
so
when you kill the baby, you're not only killing the baby, you're killing all versions of them in the future.
No. We have whoa. We have to stop on there.
Sure, go ahead.
You're hypothetical.
Mm-hmm.
We know that they are going to wake up in 9 months.
Yes.
So how do I have? Okay, so how does that baby who has no potential of living outside of the mother's womb before a certain point in time, how do they have more life potential than me, who's going to wake up in 9 months and continue living my life? Oh.
Because you're older, and then they actually have more life to live.
So
because when you kill a baby, right? When you kill a baby, you're simultaneously killing not only the baby but also like them as a child, them as a teenager, them as an adult, them as a grandparent. You're killing them all along that line, and all of the kids that are connected.
By your logic again, like as long as that woman just gives birth and a serial killer kills him, I guess it's just less cringe, you know?
I mean, the serial killer thing is a completely different argument.
You don't want to have that
you keep
one,
bringing that up.
though.
No, we can have that argument, but like we can't have that argument unless we determine the value of human life.
Well,
because I don't know how you could possibly have that argument.
Well, you wanted to personally debate me on.
I've been trying to debate you on it for like the entire time. That's why I was asking you. Like that's why I was asking you. Like when, like is the human life subjective? Like this is all connected to answering that question. Like we cannot answer that question unless we cannot answer the question of like whether or not that was an appropriate thing to say until we go through these steps. It's the final boss of the argument.
An appropriate thing to say? I don't give a fuck. Okay, I don't give a fuck personally. The appropriate thing to say? Wow.
What are you talking to me?
I don't care about what. No. I'm talking to you. I don't care about the appropriate thing to say. Okay, like if it's just the truth, it's the fucking truth. It's worth to engage in nuance. I personally don't care about the children who cannot. I'm gonna monologue. I personally just do not care about the children who cannot survive outside of the mother's womb before a certain period of time. At that point, I have no intention or no willingness to give agency to that living being. Me personally, it's a different story when the mom is going through the story. Like they're absolutely not going in there happy, willy-nilly, excited to get rid of babies. And even if you think it's wrong for them to fucking give an abortion, that's not up to you. And I don't care. I personally just don't care. If you don't care that I will wake up in 9 months in the future because an unborn baby has more life expectancy than me, then I don't understand how the conversation can fucking continue. You just don't value human life to the same degree that I do. I actually think about what is best for the baby past like what 22.
You're saying so I mean your point. You're making the point that I value human life so much I'm okay with killing the kid.
No, you value human life less. You value human life less.
It's not possible.
You don't want to engage in nuance. You don't. You want to engage in nuance with the trans stuff. Obviously, you want to engage in nuance there. But with abortion, you don't. You just said all baby killing is just bad. Basically, no nuance needed. It's just bad.
All baby killing is bad. That's right.
And I think that's cringe.
True.
That's
true.
That's so cringe. Like you're loading it. You're loading it. I don't like people can clip. Okay, clip it. Whatever. I don't care. People can clip it. That's just so cringe. Like no nuance is worthy to engage with, where it's no longer cringe. Like you think it's less cringe for a serial killer who enjoys killing babies.
That's why I asked.
Abortion.
That's why I asked you.
Oh,
That's why I asked you. You said nuance, right? I said, give me a situation of nuance. And that's what I'm asking you right now.
I gave you so many like nuanced situations.
That's
in the
what I'm
beginning
asking you is where is the value? Where does the value reside in the baby? Where does it come from?
I keep
the pre 20-week baby, where does the value come from? Where is it?
The value doesn't come from me. The
Where
value doesn't come from me.
Yes, where does it come from? From where?
The value comes from the intention to take that child to birth.
Which is subjective, right? So the value of the child is subjective. That's the only thing I can infer from you saying that.
So what does that mean? What does that do for you? I keep telling you.
That means
I don't
that
care
whether
about
or not the child has
kid.
value, it depends on whether the mom feels like it.
So what does that do for you? What does that do with the reality of the situation?
So what I'm saying is that your idea of the value of life is subjective. That's it, period. It's subjective as to like what the mother wants, which is why I think you value life less, because I don't think it's subjective.
No, I value life way, way more than you do.
You just said it was subjective. You just said life is subjective to a person's whims.
I didn't.
Yes, it's their whims, whether or not they want to have the kid or not.
How many times do I have to say professional evaluation, professional evaluation, professional evaluation, professional evaluation, professional evaluation?
The professional evaluation of the it is based on the value of the life is dependent on the mom and the doctor having a meeting and talking about it. Subjective. It's still subjective.
That's not.
It is. It's subjective. What can it be?
So what does this do?
What else can it be?
What does this do for you? What does this do for you? Whether it's subjective or not, what does it do for you? Are you engaging with what I'm actually saying?
Yes, you're telling me that you
you're not
value.
Engaging with what
you're
I'm
telling
saying.
me that you value human life more, and I'm saying that's not true because you're saying it's subjective. I'm saying it's not.
That's
subjective.
all I'm saying. That's all. So you can just repeat back what I said, like what I've explained multiple times. You can kind of like repeat back like what my position is on this.
You're not admitting the thing. Like you're not admitting the logical conclusion of your argument.
You're trying to do the thing right now. You want me to like. Oh, you don't value human life. You think it's subjective, and I'm like, no, I don't think that's kind of cringe. I don't like
what you said.
I don't like. No, that's cringe.
How is it not subjective then, from your point of view? How is it not? How's it not? Okay, how's it not? You can keep saying nuance, but it doesn't change the fact that it's subjective. So I'm asking you, okay, tell me how it's not subjective. Like if I'm misunderstanding, if I am misunderstanding you, explain how it's not subjective.
Can you engage with what I'm saying, please?
I'm tired
of you. I'm tired of me. No, I'm tired of me saying something and you asking me what I mean by the thing.
You're not making sense.
Engage
that's why.
with what I'm saying. You're not engaging.
I'm engaging as hard as possible.
No,
I couldn't be engaging any harder.
No, engagements go back and forth. They don't go with me yapping and then you saying, "Well, this doesn't make sense because you said." Like, can you like engage? What do you think about what I'm saying?
I'm engaging literally right now. I asked you, what I'm saying is that what I'm telling you is that you said that I don't value life as much as you did. You do. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, according to your line of logic, I'm engaging with your logic. I'm understanding your logic that it is subjective. Therefore, I don't agree with your prescription that I don't agree with your analysis. Your analysis. I don't agree with your analysis that you think that you value life more than me. I don't think it's true.
You can't summarize the thing I've been.
I did. It's subjective. It's subjective according to what you said. That's the only thing you can infer from it. There's no other way. There's no way to infer objectivity from your argument.
I don't know how to describe, like, I'm taking into account more than just the baby's life. I'm taking into account the baby and the mother and like what's best for everyone moving forward past a certain point of time. I don't know how to explain that without you like harping on the subjectivity point or
So
something
you want
like
to
that.
talk about it on a scale, as in like, so okay, so what you're talking about is you're talking about it on a scale, as in the value of the life is in opposition to the woman's like the woman's quality of life, I assume. Is that the argument you're making?
It's not just a woman's quality of life at
What is it then?
At certain point. At a certain point, no, I'm saying at a certain point, it's not just a woman's quality of life.
Okay, so okay, go on.
So
what are you weighing on the scale?
So as I'm saying, is that once it becomes deterministic, which is around 22, 23 weeks, that the baby has a chance of survival outside of the womb, it is better to give that baby, because it is has the that is when the babies have the potential to actually be something without being attached to the mother anymore. It is better to take into account the baby's livelihood expectations and the mother's, because yes, there are going to be some scenarios like, and obviously I'm not even going to engage with the rape one. I'm not going to engage with the rape one, but there are scenarios where children are just not developing.
Give me an example of a scenario, and we developing.
I'll give this same exact scenario where people said, "Hey, your child is born without lungs, or like isn't going to like be able to live with like because it's
okay.
Like, it has a conformity.
Hold on, real quick.
Like it has." Yes.
That is a very small. Let's talk about the average case.
Stop.
Let's talk about the average case.
I don't care. No,
it's important.
I don't care. No, it's not important.
Okay,
engage with what I'm saying.
Okay, let me engage with what you're saying then. Okay, I agree with you. In those cases, if the child has no lungs and they're gonna die anyway, sure, we'll make a little trade. We'll make a deal.
So
we'll make a deal. Listen. Let me finish. We're gonna make a deal. We're gonna make a deal. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yes. In those cases, okay, abortion's okay. We ban it for everything else.
No, that's not a fucking deal. No,
why is
the deal is you accepting that yes, there are reasons to engage with nuance, and that I'm factually correct here.
That specific case.
No.
I'm carving out.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
No, you don't want to engage with the fucking nuance. You just want to value value the life expectancy of that child. You don't know how that child is going to end up as it gestates. You don't know. We don't know. Anything could happen.
It's called doing a carve out to find out what you actually believe.
But yes, that's why I want professionals and people to evaluate this. But you don't.
So let's say in those cases. So do you disagree with it in the cases where it's purely elective then? Like if we do a carve out, okay, rape, incest, life of the mother, child has no lungs, the child's gonna die anyway. We take all of those again. 2% of this, 2% of it, and then we ban those, as in like, sorry, in those cases we allow it. We have a little thing where we allow them to do it, and then for the other 98% we ban it. Are you okay with that?
Can I ask why it's only bad if they die?
What? What do you mean?
Can I ask why it's only bad if they die? Like this is the only thing I think you really care about is like the death aspect of it.
Wait. Oh, who dies? Sorry, can you like?
Like when anyone dies, like this is like the one thing that you just like care about more. Like
dying's a pretty big deal. People die when they're killed.
No, wait, but why are these things like deterministically bad? It seems.
Why is it bad when a person dies?
Well, I'm asking you in your own question. Yes, in your own for your own answer. Yes.
Like how can you tell me? Like how can you tell me that you care more about life when you're trying to say that it doesn't matter when people die? Like, what are you talking about?
Because earlier I asked you stuff on the trans healthcare stuff, and you said that could you show me like the suicide statistics on the detransition thing? Because if we could show that if
because it's the worst thing that can happen.
Because if you could show that leading people to detransition leads to suicide, then that would be bad. But past that point, you don't really care of engaging with like the other like factors that leads to that death. Like you just think the death part is bad. You don't care about the other factors involved. The death is the easiest. Suicide is the
easiest metric that we can have. Like measuring it by happiness or whatever. A lot of it's really subjective.
Why
and again, how do you know that they're not happier the other way? How do you know that?
Why is transition
How do
only
you measure
good
that?
if they don't die?
How do you measure
Well,
that they're happier than the people that detransition?
because it's studied.
So where?
Well, actually, hold on.
How
Let
do
me
you even
answer
determine
this.
that in a study?
Let me actually answer this in a more succinct like way. Um, when you find out that you're not trans and you just like detransition, that's like I think that's a normal experience. People just figure out they're
Sure.
not trans. They're not trans. But
Okay.
typically speaking, when people go through the process of hormone replacement therapy, social transitioning, potentially surgery and stuff, typically the regret rate for those things is pretty abysmally low because they know that they're trans and that they have.
Do you mind if I look it up?
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can look it up. Yep, look it up. Look it up. Why is transition like only good if they don't die though? Like, that's what I'm like kind of.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
Like, is transition only good if they don't die?
Is transition only good if they don't die? Actually, I don't hold that belief.
So would you be supportive of gender affirming care? Like, you can, like I'm saying, you can look all this up, but gender affirming care keeps trans people from not dying. So like you'd be in favor of that, right?
Where's the data of that? I mean, I provided you a case in which that isn't the case.
Hi, hello. Listen, I saying, hey, me as a trans person, you can look up all this stuff later. I don't want you to engage with like data and stuff.
Well, I'm not going to agree with something that you're not providing evidence of.
No, this is like a simple thing. This is a healthcare thing. I care about you having healthcare. So yes, answer the question.
Wait, can you ask it then again? Just so I can clear what you're asking.
Why is transition like? Is it only good if they don't die? Like, if I'm telling you that our like,
I think there are reasons that I think there are reasons that it wouldn't be that it would be good.
Okay,
but I think most people don't fulfill those.
Okay. Regardless of that, do you believe that it is worth it for us to go through gender affirming care so we can live a better life experience?
Depends.
Via transitioning.
I don't agree. I don't agree that it leads to a life experience for most people, because the problem with trans stuff is there's a lot of reasons that people do it.
Like, all psychiatric institutions have agreed that gender affirming care is a treatment for gender dysphoria.
No,
so like,
they haven't determined that it's actually a good thing. That's the point. That's the point is that in the study that I told you, in that case, I know it involves youth. I know it involves youth, but it specifically says that in the data. That's why I'm asking you if you have data. If you have data against that, then you can provide it. But I haven't seen it. The cast review is the most recent one. They were forced, by the way. They were forced in court themselves to say that it wasn't the case. They had to. The top arguer, the top lawyer, pro-trans lawyer, was forced in court to admit this. That transition did not lead to lowering of suicide rates. That there was no correlation in the data. And again, that is one of the pro-trans advocates being forced in court to admit that. So it's not like the person hates trans people.
So you are going to look up like this information after stream or during stream?
Sure, send it to me. Right? Send it to me. The one that you.
I'm not sending it to you. No.
You're not? Okay. Well, I mean, I'm telling you, mine is it's the cast review.
Oh, so you're just going to look at the cast review, nothing else? That's it?
Yeah, it's the most recent one. It's the most recent one. It has like the most rigorous testing because like it was actually fought over in court. So it actually has the highest standards out of like any of the data.
Not even like that Utah study. I think it was Utah who did like a study and they just completely like ignored the studies.
The cast review was argued in court. So it has a much higher standard of data.
That was also argued in court, actually.
Okay, can you link it to me then? Link me the specific one, because Utah. I don't know which. That one is.
Yeah. Got you. Here you go. Kids should not be transitioning, period.
on.
End of story. Minors should not be transitioning, period. End of story. Interesting. Fuck, I guess, we did these studies for just no reason. Just fuck it.
Minors should not be transitioning, period. In the stories. Wait, what are you trying to prove with this, by the way, this article?
Well, this is more recent than the cast
Yeah,
review.
what are you trying to prove in this? This is an article. Like, this isn't a study.
Yes, this is an article that there was supposed to be a study on trans healthcare, and they
where's
did
the
a
study?
study on
Where's the
trans
study?
healthcare.
What study? Where's the study? This is an article. This is a journalist article. This isn't a study at all.
Oh my god. Did I say I was linking you a fucking study?
That's what I asked for?
No, you didn't. You asked me about the Utah thing.
Yeah, which is the study I was asking for.
Here. I'll just link you this.
Sure.
So I'm going to link you this document. It's on the integrity of the cast review thing. I'm trying to get you to engage with the fact that there are states and legislations asking for studies to be made, and then people work on these studies to figure out the best type of care, and then they figure out that, oh, gender affirming care is actually important and works and is the treatment for gender dysphoria. But people decide, like in that article that you read, minors and people like that should just not be able to receive this type of treatment because they just don't believe it. That's bad. I don't think the government should have any say in any healthcare decisions. Personally, I think professionals and medical care providers should be doing those studies and reviews and XYZ. But like, I don't think the government should have the final say over who should be able to have our healthcare, basically. Like, I think that'd be fucked up in any other scenario.
Wait, so this isn't a study. This is a critique of Cass. This is an actual study.
Well, no. Well, this is. Oh, I'm letting you know that you can read through all this, but it goes over like
this is like 50 pages, by the way.
Yeah, I know. You can if you care about the cast.
Yeah, but
this
isn't actually a study. This is a critique of Cass.
Well, when you read through the thing, it explains why the cast review obfuscates data to achieve the conclusion of the cast review's purpose of being commissioned. So, you can read it if you care about it.
Yeah, it's quite long. It's gonna take me a while. This is like 39 pages.
Yeah, it's gonna take you a while.
I can try to analyze it like this.
You don't have to. You don't have to read it all in this fucking. You don't have to read in this all fucking. This whole fucking stream. But like, you're really hell bent on staying on like the cast review stuff. And like,
well, I mean, it is an important piece of data. That's why, again, so that was actually critiqued in court.
So, but
and again, like I said, the guy admitted it. Like the person who was presenting on behalf of that was on the behalf of the pro trans actually had to admitted that it didn't show that it didn't show a reduction in suicide rates, basically.
I'll link some PubMed independent reviews too, so not being like biased or anything. I'm just letting you know that there is a lot more into the conversation about trans healthcare and if it's okay or if it's not okay, more than just like what doctors and stuff.
So like theoretically, do you want to talk about the philosophy behind it instead? That way, we're not talking about studies and stuff. So sure. This doesn't really critique. Just like a last thing on this is it doesn't actually doesn't actually refute gas, like the according to what I'm reading.
Well, I'm asking, like, I don't know how to explain, like I'm the focus is on you. I'm asking you these questions to learn about you.
Okay, sure.
I'm trying to
You want
figure
to
out.
ask me more questions? Sure, go ahead.
Well, I'm trying to figure out like why it seems like you focus on like the death aspect more than everything that contributes
Because
up
that's
to
a big
that death
deal.
in the
It's a big
first place.
deal.
Well, yes, it is a big deal,
Uh-huh.
but you focus on the death so much that you ignore
Because I value life.
everything else that. Wait.
Okay, go ahead.
You ignore everything else that leads up to that death.
You mean like
It's not suffering is also a big deal. Not suffering is a pretty big deal. I promise you,
Like-
it's a pretty big deal.
not suffering, like taking responsibility for the kid? Like that's suffering to you? Like raising the kid is suffering?
No, what? No, I'm saying like if you know that bringing that child to term is going to cause them like a life of suffering, then like isn't that
Cause
like
the child
fucked
a
up?
life of suffering, or the person, or the mom, or both.
I mean, wouldn't it cause both of them? Like they're watching, they're watching their child that they love and care about, that they wanted to bring to fruition, like suffocate.
So they kill him instead.
Or the trans child, like, or just like anyone. It doesn't matter. It's anyone. Like, just like, does suffering matter to you, like, at all?
Of course it matters.
So, like, I'm trying to ask, like, why aren't you taking into like?
I don't think suffering justifies killing people. That's just crazy.
Well, if you're
Look,
gonna
let me give you an
like,
example
load
that
it-
let me give you an example that you won't agree with, right? Like say there was a parent, right? And then they had a kid. The kid's like, I'm trans. And like, oh well, you're gonna suffer a lot, so they just kill them. You wouldn't agree with that, right? Like you would agree that the
No,
suffering.
but
Do you think that the
no.
suffering of being trans is terrible?
the suffering. No, well, first
Like,
off,
every
we
trans
live
person I know tells me that it's suffering.
We live in a life of suffering because of people like y'all. Y'all just don't want to listen to our experiences
Y'all?
of
Like
being
what?
trans and stuff.
Why do I have to listen
Like-
to your experience? You just live your life. I don't really care.
Well, we try to live our lives, and then people like fucking berate us and focus on the fact that we're trans
What
because
do
it
you
was
mean?
so visible and apparent.
How
What do you
would
mean?
I
No,
berate you for
please
being
don't be
trans?
fucking stupid. Please
No,
don't.
I'm not. I'm
Please,
asking
please
you.
don't.
How would I berate you for being trans?
Didn't you say conversion therapy might be good in like the Niara debate?
Yeah, I mean, there could be a case in like which it's a thing to try out, and then if the kid goes,
just-
if you find out, right? Because we don't know if the person is trans, and if the conversion therapy and again, I'm not talking about shocking people or waterboarding them. I'm talking about just going to a thing where like they talk you through your problems, kind of like what I did, right? Like,
Well,
would you consider that?
therapy? Conversion therapy has been proven to exacerbate issues and suffering. Yes, like
From
this
who?
isn't
Who
good.
said that?
I feel like there's no way. Like, did
So
we
like
not
in my
ban conversion
specific
therapy
case,
for these
in
reasons?
my specific case where I tried to talk my friend, I tried to convert them away from being trans, ended up being a
Wait.
positive for their life.
You wait. So now you're saying you tried to convert them? Like there wasn't just like you just reaching out. Being
What
like,
else
hey,
could it
you don't
be?
have to be
I tried to tell them like you don't have to do this. What else could that be?
I wouldn't call that conversion. I wouldn't call that trying to convert them.
Okay, well,
No.
say there
Like,
was a
what?
therapy, right? Say there was a therapy in which they were saying, okay, well, let's explore if you're trans or not, and let's explore other options. And then they determined that, okay, so actually we figured out that you're not trans. And then they came
Well, how
out of
can we
came out of the therapy converted.
How can we get to that conclusion? Like, why is gender affirming care bad? How can we even come to that conclusion without an evaluation? Like, they don't know. They don't know. They just assume probably like they don't know. Like, they don't know. That's the issue. I'm trying to like point out. Like, they don't know.
You said something about like I want the suffering of what was it? Something about I want the suffering of trans people or something. What were you saying about that?
I didn't say you specifically, like y'all, like people who aren't like trans. I don't know if you're trans
What
or
about
not. I
it?
don't think you are.
No.
But like,
what about it?
y'all don't care about like the lived experiences that we live in. Our government is like revoking driver's licenses. Yes, let me speak. Our lived experiences. We can't be in the military and stuff because we're trans. We can't have driver licenses in certain states because we're trans.
Yeah, well,
they want to make databases of trans people taking healthcare. Like the government shouldn't be making lists of people taking
gish galloping.
medicine.
You're gish galloping. So in the case of like the military, right? The reason behind that is because there are certain conditions in which it would be dangerous for them to be as
You're fucking with me.
battlefield.
You're fucking with me.
I'm not.
You're fucking with me.
I mean,
So
trans people need medicine, right?
Trans people in the military were a-okay until Trump determined
well, just because that it was allowed. No, just because it was allowed before doesn't mean that there isn't possibly a problem with it. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know the answer to that. They made a determination that there is some kind of effect through the it tracks me. I'm not. How am I?
Oh wait, so the government had to take away the driver's licenses of trans people just because?
No, that's a completely different thing. You're conflating two different things.
Well, hold on. Well, this is kind of like a similar thing. Like they're just removing like rights and access to like. Yes,
pick a topic.
Like
pick a topic, and we'll talk about it. Pick one.
We're talking about this topic right now.
Which one? So. Can you restate it? That way I know exactly what you're talking about because you like kind of jump around a lot.
Trans people losing rights to our own healthcare and just dignity.
What does that mean?
Existing.
Losing rights to your own healthcare. What do you mean by that?
The government is deciding that they don't care about medical reviews and studies. They're going to push their ideological agenda, whereas they say that.
So there's a thing.
People, shut up. They're saying we don't care that transitioning has been studied and gender affirming care improves the lives of trans people, and the government is deciding we don't care about those studies. We're just going to say no. That's bad. That's good.
There's conflicting studies. There's conflicting studies, and again, like I said, I bring up Cass as a conflicting study that says that it doesn't actually do anything.
So you think it's okay for the government to just have the final say, be like, yeah, you just can't. Yep.
No, that's actually not my position. I actually don't think that the government should for cosmetic things. This is a completely different reason. For aesthetic reasons, I don't think they should.
So our healthcare that's been studied and now it's just a cosmetic thing, right? Like it's just cosmetic.
No, I think that the cosmetic reason is a reason that we should allow it actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
So can you explain this further?
Yeah, I think that people should be allowed to go for their aesthetics. That's it. As long as they know what they're getting into. As long as there is a and this is a very like libertarian argument. Like this is secular. This isn't like a religious thing at all. It basically goes like this, right? Like I don't want the government telling people what they can or can't do, like tattoos and things like that. And like for me, the trans stuff is like along those lines. So like as long as you're trying to reach a aesthetic that you want for yourself, I don't really care what you do. I really don't. The only concern I have is that you are aware of what you're doing. That's it. That you're able to actually sign that contract, that you understand what's happening.
I personally don't fully believe you.
Okay. Well, I mean, what do you want me to say to that?
Nothing.
I've said this on stream many times. You can ask my chat.
Yeah, I just personally don't fully believe you.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's literally nothing I can say about that then.
Yeah, but like, I want to know, like,
I've been consistent about this. I've been very consistent about this.
I want to know how you have this position, but like, it seems like you don't care about like the potential suffering that we go through while like experiencing like this healthcare from outside sources. Not even our healthcare like that's doing it to us. It's people outside.
I understand that trans people are suffering. I just don't think that I think in most cases you're not actually you're not solving it through the methods that you're.
How do you determine this without a professional? Like what? Like who are you to determine this?
Because you're all depressed because your ideology is not rooted in reality. That's why.
What? It is rooted in reality. It's not even an ideology. Like dysphoria is incurable. It's a thing we deal with. It's been studied.
Do you believe? Let me ask you a question. Do you believe that trans women and biological women are the same?
Trans women and biological women
are the same. Are they the same thing?
This is so fucking cringe. Like what? You
How is it cringe?
This is just so they're natal women. I just don't care. I don't care. Like what? I don't care.
This is your
topic.
So cringe. This is your topic.
It's so cringe. I just don't care.
It doesn't matter how cringe it is. Like you can't just take an argument. You can't take an argument and then you don't want to talk about it because it makes you uncomfortable and you say it's cringe. Like that's not how things work.
It's not that it makes me uncomfortable. It's just like this position doesn't further anything that I'm talking about. What are you like? What is the point? I'm talking about our healthcare, our specific healthcare. Do you like? Why is this a bad thing to engage with?
Okay, what do you want to talk about then, and specifically? Go ahead. I don't even know what you're talking about, to be honest. You're just kind of spurging out.
Give me a bit. I'm definitely BPD fucking girly out. One moment. I just gotta unmute for a second.
I don't know. I think I'm pretty. I think I'm pretty reasonable. I'm just being real. Like I'm not even like, yeah, like, you know, fuck trans people and like trans people should never be able to do it. I'm not even like that far. I'm pretty moderate on the issue.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry. So, I don't want to engage with the phenotype arguments and all that shit. I just
It's
don't.
important though. It's important.
Wait.
Okay.
I will say that trans women are not the same as natal females.
Okay.
And that, biologically speaking, after years of HRT, you can get closer to like the biological definition of a woman than you would without that HRT. I think that's a pretty fair answer.
It's still different though, right?
Yeah. There is a difference, obviously, but I think that's a pretty fair answer.
So like here's my take on it, right? And people might get pissed off from this, but this is actually my take on it, right? That if you're okay, go ahead. Sure, go ahead.
Obviously, natal women have development at birth that is not experienced by natal men. Okay, I want to say that too.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So what I think then, right, is, how do I explain it? Sorry, like my brain got scrambled for a bit. I like lost the thread. I think that understanding the limitations of things, but then wanting to reach your aesthetic ideal, I think is okay. So like,
what do you mean by that?
So the understanding, right, that let's use like MTFs for like the sake of argument, okay? That MTFs...
It's more complicated than the aesthetics, so I just want to let you know early. It's more complicated than the aesthetics. It's way more complicated than the aesthetics. Explain? Like, dysphoria is incurable. We treat the symptoms. It's been studied. Like, we just, like, gender-affirming care in the form of hormone replacement therapy just increases, like...
But what is it? What is... What is being trans in the first place? Like, what is it?
I think it's when you're like, how do I explain this in like a proper way?
You're one gender, right? So like so you know, we'll use again MTFs for the sake of argument, right? So a trans MTF person is a person who is a man that they want to be a woman, correct?
Yes.
Which is impossible. But hear me out, okay? Before you get mad. It's impossible. But if it's your aesthetic to still want that, then that's up to you. That you should have the freedom to be able to pursue that aesthetic to its peak ideal that you want to reach.
It's more than aesthetic. There's like there's brain chemistry, hormone levels. Like some people, like me, like
it's all part of
personally. I will personally attest that like my mental state has personally improved ever since I started transitioning, because I was like at the brink before
So can I
waited or
go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, go on.
Oh, so just out of curiosity, like what is your mental state? Like, would you say that like you're I'm not trying to I swear to you I'm going from this from good faith. So like would you say that you're depressed, like as a person? Like there's something that you're upset about?
Not because I'm trans. If I were to say yes, it's not because I'm trans. It's just because of the whole like world is what's going on. Like there's so much like horrible, decrepit. No, the trans experience is probably the most valuable thing in my life. It basically breathed a second life into me, because before I transitioned, as an adult, by the way, I transitioned, I pretty much knew I was trans, but I didn't know how to describe it because I had no information available to me at the time to describe it. So like, eventually, when I eventually, like, came to understand these things, I was given that second opportunity to explore life from the perspective that I always like understood myself to personally be.
So you have a sense of like self-worth yourself, like without like it's not like an externally sourced.
Yeah, like there's like a psychological like incongruence. Like the treating the symptoms doesn't cure the spirit. It quells the social stigma.
So well,
And
if a
like
person like so, and I'm really not trying to
mhm,
like there's a reason behind this. Okay, I'm not trying to be mean.
mhm.
So if a person told you that you were a man, would that ruin your psyche or
No,
not really?
no. It's the passive self. This is a difference. Okay,
Okay, I'm trying
we
to understand it.
passively self hate ourselves because we don't see ourselves like when we look in the mirror. Like it is a personal like it is a personal thing that like
Uh huh.
gender affirming care actually like
Okay,
alleviates,
got it.
because like there are like psychological incongruencies and like hormone
So
imbalances and stuff
when does
that
this
are
end?
fixed with this.
When does the self hatred end? That's my question.
Well, it
When does
never
it end?
ends because it never ends.
So it's uncurable then.
Well, hold on, wait.
Uh huh.
It never it the gender dysphoria symptoms never end. Okay, that's what I'm going to say.
Yeah. So
It's
how
not
does
that
it cure
we. No,
anything?
wait.
Go ahead.
It's not that the hatred. It's not like the hatred doesn't really end. It's just like it's treatable. Like we hate ourselves passively, but we are being like treated for it. We're taking treatment, so we have a better life experience. So like we can feel better about this life that we're going through. Like it's not like
See,
we're trying to like just
this is what
we're
I
like
mean. This is why
mhm.
this is so toxic. It's like your entire thing is that the entire thing is that you hate yourself
Why is it toxic?
eternally. Well, like
Why is it toxic?
because you hate yourself eternally.
This is a
That's not
but
like
this is
a
a
that's not a
well
solution.
I understand that it's toxic, but like it's like a medical condition, and this is studied. Like we, like it's not like I'm just speaking out my fucking ass. Like like it's like it like this is a thing. Like like it's not like we're just yeah. Like some people are just like built this way. Like unfortunately, right? Like it's
But
just like we need care
yeah,
for people
so
like us. Like
wouldn't you want to find
we
alternative explanations? Like so,
if no,
if
I'll tell
transitioning is
you
like
right up.
still makes you hate yourself to some level, and you will forever eternally hate yourself, then like how does that solve anything?
I
Like,
would rather hate. I'd rather hate myself being a woman than stay being a man.
but what if there was a way that there was a way for you to find peace with that? Why is that
I
bad
would
for
rather.
people to seek
I
that?
would. I would rather hate myself being a woman than stay being a man. And I don't know how to explain it other than that.
This is what I mean. Like it's a toxic condition. That's what I mean. Like
You can do both. You
no,
can
I think that
transition and
there's
still
people.
study dysphoria. You're like I'm
I think
still
that there's
learning things about
people.
myself.
I think that the people that so when it comes to like how to explain it when it comes
Like
to
why
go ahead, go ahead.
why would I forego a form of harmless treatment when like you're just wanting me to find a form of treatment that might not exist? Like I'll tell you right up, like if I could exist in a comfortable state without being trans, then sure, like
But don't you want to
cool, like
explore it?
awesome.
Yeah,
But
don't you want to? Okay, if I
I
had a pill right now,
explored it my whole life.
if I
That's the
had a
point.
pill,
My whole life, I wasn't trans. I was trans, but I never transitioned until I like. You know what I mean? Like, you can do both. You can
if I
learn
have,
about this stuff while you transition.
so I'm
Like
just curious. So if I had a pill that would make you not trans, would you take it? That would just make you male, and then you would be okay with being male. Would you take that?
personally, I like the trans experience, but
So
I don't know.
you like being depressed and
Well,
hating
no,
yourself?
wait.
Wait, what?
Personally, this is what I mean by like I don't speak for all trans people. Me personally, like if I were to personally be born, I'd rather have both. I'd rather have both, dick and balls and fucking pussy. Like
You
I'd
don't want
rather
that.
like that. What that is who I envision myself like kind of as. But I'm not going to get bottom surgery. I don't care about that. I personally, my dysphoria it extends to my facial features and my body structure because I went through the puberty of a man, and like without the information available to me, I couldn't understand what was going on in my mind or understand, like I could have potentially held off on like the crazy puberty that I went through. Like it's harder for me to exist in this world right now because I went through male puberty. Females don't have to experience this when they try to transition to men because testosterone does such like
No, they have
damage
the
to the
same
body.
thing. They have the same thing. It's just kind of different.
No, testosterone changes your voice like irreversibly. Like yeah, like like
Yeah, but like even
wait,
in a lot of cases, like in a lot of
like this isn't a
cases,
gotcha.
it's
Like
obvious
you know,
still,
like
right?
it's just like the trans pill stuff. Like it's just like this is
It's
like
just a thought experiment. It's not.
I'm yeah, but yeah, I'm letting you know though. Like this is like our life, and like you could learn more about like people like us, and we're
What do
all
I need to?
different.
What do I need to learn about it? Like, why do I need to learn about it? Is my question.
You
Like,
need to learn that you shouldn't have the say on the treatment that is helping me actually like live life in a comfortable, like more comfortable way than I lived previously. Like one
so
of
would
the
you be
comments
okay
that you
then?
made.
Okay, hear me out then. Would you be okay then with a situation in which you could get whatever surgeries you want, whatever you want, but then society says you can't use a women's restroom, you can't do women's sports, you can't join any women's spaces. Would you be okay with that?
That's weird.
Why?
Probably not.
Yes. So it's not about just you. It's about society too. It's about both.
What? No, wait, no. I'm saying I wouldn't be okay with that
Yes,
because
because
like
it's about society. It's not just about
that's the
you as
whole
a trans
point.
person.
Yes, our like it partially has to deal with our self-hatred, partially has to do with people. No matter what you say or do, they'll just mention you will never be a woman. You will never be a woman.
Why
You
do I
will
have
never be
any?
a woman. You will never be a woman.
Why do I have
Like
to partake in
that's
any
like,
of that? Why do I have
yes,
to partake?
you don't have to partake in any of that, but to our psyche, it damages us. Like, yes, that's do you
my
understand the craziness it is to like have our medical care, scientific studies, like research, all this stuff be determined by the hatred of other people around? Like that makes no sense.
People
Like, they
will
don't
always
understand.
hate on you. People hate on me
Yes,
all the time. It's a universal
yes,
experience.
but can they determine your healthcare? Can they determine your healthcare?
Your health, like.
Can they determine your healthcare?
Well,
Leaflet?
I mean, if you can pay for it
Can
yourself, I don't really give a shit. I told
Can
you.
they determine
I
your
told you.
healthcare?
I don't think people should be able to restrict you from that.
Can those people who focus on you existing right now, Leaflet, can they change anything about your healthcare?
I don't really buy into the entire narrative that
Okay,
it's
so you just don't
of the same
understand.
equivalency as healthcare. I think it's a necessity, and that's fine. I just don't want anything like I don't think everyone else should have to do anything to do with it, with your own self-perception.
Like they're trying to ban self-medding too, so like you just like
I'm against that.
Like you just
okay, well I'm against that.
I don't like you just don't understand, so
no,
I don't care what you're really against. You just don't understand.
Okay, so what
you
does
don't
it?
understand why you're against
so
it. To be honest, I just don't care. Like I don't.
I mean, what can I say? What can I say?
Now,
what can I say? I've had this stance forever.
I don't care what your public performative stances might be. I don't care.
Okay, so you don't care what my public performative stance is. What you care is about some straw man stance that you have completely created out of whole cloth and apply it to me.
Well, no, I'm just saying that you don't understand what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, well, how about if I said, well, your performative stance is that you're autogonophile? What if I said that?
Wait,
and what? I just completely built a straw man of what I think you are, and then I placed it upon you. And I said, oh, it doesn't care, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't believe you.
Well, I haven't called you anything, have I?
Yeah, you're ascribing to me an ideology I don't hold. You're strong. You literally built a straw man.
I haven't described an ideology. What have I? Wait, hold on. Wait, have I called you any like? Have I called you transphobic?
You told
at all?
me you don't believe in what I'm telling you. I believe, which is literally the same thing.
I know you believe like what you believe. I just don't believe what you're saying.
You didn't say that.
What? I said
you didn't say that.
Like what? Like
you're just making shit up.
So you're completely fine with like trans healthcare, like when doctors are involved and stuff, like even for minors?
No, especially not for minors. They don't know what they want. I told you my angle on it.
Is it the surgery part, or is it like the actual like
all minors? They don't know what they're doing. Can minors
Well,
consent?
personally, my can we not do that? Jesus Christ.
No, it's related.
So my personal opinion is that minors shouldn't be getting surgery at all, and they should probably get surgery until 18 or wait
Okay.
until 18. So that's my personal opinion. So let's not even go there, okay?
Great.
So what's going on with the so like what's wrong with like minors?
Puberty blocker still has an effect. It still has an effect on their development. It still has an effect on their development.
Wait, who are you, Leaflit, to determine this? Who are you to determine
Their
this?
children.
Leaflit?
Children.
Who are you to determine?
Children are conferred.
Children. Who are you?
Children are conferred a special status in a special protective status in society in which we do not determine them to be capable of making life-altering decisions. So they deserve special care, which is why you can't have sex with a kid.
I'm not okay. I've never. Can we not bring up having?
It's
Jesus
related. It's 100% related.
I don't think about kids having sex or their genitalia or anything like that. Please, like, I just don't want to talk. Oh, good fucking Lord. Okay, so, Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God.
Like having like this like performative like, oh my God, this doesn't do anything. Like it doesn't help your point. Like I'm a very moderate person, and this isn't. Yeah, go ahead.
This is what you're failing to understand.
Okay, what am I failing to understand?
Who are you to determine what is the best outcome for someone else's child and someone else's child's doctor?
Should a parent be able to talk to
a doctor? Should a parent be able to talk to a doctor about the symptoms that their child is experiencing, and for that doctor to evaluate them over to a period of time and determine what would be the right course of treatment for them? Like, what's the issue with that?
Should a doctor like John Money be able to make two kids hump each other?
Answer my fucking question,
please. I am answering your question.
No, you're not.
I am.
You're not.
I am.
Minors cannot consent to any medical intervention, so the decisions are made by parents and doctors.
Are there things that we determine in society? Are there things that we determine in society that the parents are still not allowed to do their kids?
John Money is not a physician.
Are there things that we determine in society that parents are not allowed to do their kids? Yes or no?
Parents, oh my
yes or no?
God,
are they? Are there things? Are there things that exist? Are there things that exist that parents that we have determined that parents are not allowed to do to their kids, regardless of them being their caretakers of their kids? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course. Yes.
So that can be a part of that. Yeah.
Wow.
That can be considered abuse. Yes.
So like, so the professional healthcare could be considered abuse. Like
appeal to authority.
The other things that because the other things that the parent could do to that child, oh my God, this is.
Appeal to authority.
Get sued. There's a recourse. There's literally recourse for these things. Like there's studies, recourse. Like
yes, and we should make it not allowed. We should make it not allowed. That's it. It's different for kids. It's completely different.
So because you don't understand anything about our healthcare or how it's done or how it's evaluated or how. Yes, this is exactly what you're saying.
Nope.
Yes, this is exactly what you're saying.
Nope, it has everything to do with kids not being able to consent, and the fact that care, care that you say that
it's not the child's decision. It's the parents and the doctors. The child is just providing input and what they're feeling. The parents are the ones like
the kid is the one who is saying what they are.
They're literally just describing what they're feeling, and then the parent is like, "Hey, my child is feeling this way."
Kids say all sorts of shit that they don't mean.
And that's why there's an evaluation period with psychologists.
There are a lot of people that as kids they believe that they're trans, and then when they become adults, they don't want to do it anymore. So do you want to risk all of those people that have
it's such a that detransition? It's such a small amount. We're literally 1% of the population, like 1 to 2%. Like it's such a small percent of the people who end up regretting being trans, and it's not even usually because they regret actually transitioning. It's the societal hatred.
You're saying that there's
them.
Such a small amount of trans people that there's such a small amount of trans people in the world.
Yes. What do you call a 1% of 1% regret rate? Like what? Yes,
Sounds like a damn
it's
good
that
deal to
small.
me. So like we ban it for the 1%, and then like we save everyone else that detransitions later. Sounds like a damn good deal to me.
What? How
Yeah.
can you? What? This doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's mostly female to males who are the ones who detransition, by the way.
So do you want special rules that female to males can't do it, but males to female can?
No. You just don't
Then why do you
understand.
bring it up?
You just don't understand anything
Then why bring
about
it up?
our healthcare. You just don't understand anything. I just have to let you know. You know.
I mean, you could keep saying that. It doesn't really mean anything because you're not making a good point.
I mean, I think you've shown throughout this that you don't understand anything about our healthcare.
I mean,
and a little bit you do. You just use for like dunking on us. So like you don't actually care about the information. You just want to dunk. You just dunk.
I mean, again, like you're just making ad hominem attacks. That's
Queen based.
Yeah, see, you're like all you have is ad hominem attacks. Like that's it. Like your logic is just weak. Like
no,
if you can't break my logic, how are you gonna break anybody in society? I didn't even come here prepared for a trans argument. I didn't even come here prepared for a trans argument.
I didn't come here prepared for a fucking abortion argument. Like what?
You had a lot of time to get ready for it. You had plenty of time.
You had a lot of time to get ready for a trans discussion, and I told you I was going to be talking about trans stuff. So like what? Like, holy shit!
But like your entire argument, your entire argument is emotional. Your entire argument is emotional and ad hominem. That's all it's been.
What was the initial thing I said when I came into the stream? What was the initial thing that I said in the stream that I said to you, by the way? It was, I don't have any intentions of being bad faith, and I will make that more clear to you and your audience tomorrow. I also primarily only speak for myself, but I understand I will be seen as a quote-unquote representative of trans people and stuff. I'll let you know early, I'm not the type of person to be focusing on this argumentative style like Niara did, so be prepared for that, that difference there. So like that, like, you know, I was going to be talking to you about trans stuff.
And we are, and I'm telling you that your arguments aren't good. That's it. Like your entire argument has been ad hominem. It's been basically you don't know anything. You don't know anything about this. You don't care about this and this and this, and then this is what you believe, not what you're saying you believe. So it's like
I've explained it multiple times over and 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 over.
You haven't explained
and then you'll just ask me, like I'll say like 2 + 2 is floor, or is 4. Oh shit, 2 + 2 is floor. Holy fuck. I'll say 2 + 2 is 4, and then you'll say, why is the floor wet?
I mean, that's not even remotely close to what's happening, but you know.
Yes, yes, that's how fucking ridiculous it is.
I don't know what you're talking about. Like your points are incoherent.
Like, what did you say this entire time? Just ban it. Ban all care. Children should not get gender-affirming care regardless of the data. My only data is the cast review.
I didn't say regardless of the data. I said that the data actually proves my point.
Oh, the data that you have, which is the cast review, is the only data that you really care about. So,
yeah, it proves my point. How about you? What's your data? You don't have any data.
I said you can look it up.
Yeah, again, you don't have the data. I'm citing a specific study, a cast review. I looked up your study. It wasn't a study. It was a refutation.
You didn't
no,
look it up.
I did look it up. I have it. It's a refutation. It's a refutation. It's a non-peer-reviewed refutation is what it is. It's not actually like a study or anything like that.
I linked you 2 comprehensive analyses to the
one was an article. One was an article by a journalist, and the other one was a non-peer-reviewed critique that doesn't disprove it.
And what? The first one was an article describing how the government is just denying.
Yeah, an article. Anyone can write an article.
They're doing studies, and then they're ignoring the data of the studies.
Where's the study?
Then I linked you the integrity.
I am telling you a study. I am giving you. I present as my evidence a study that was fought out in court. Fought out in court is a recent study fought out in court, and yours is like an article on a website. Like our sources of data are just not even remotely like equal.
You're using a report that was like specifically like tailored to debunk gender affirming care. I don't understand like how you're going to rely on that report.
The person who admitted it was the person arguing in favor of gender affirming care. So how did that happen? How did that happen that he was pressured so hard in court that he had to admit it?
how did I end up trans? Like, what the heck? Holy shit.
See, and then you bring up something that has nothing to do with anything, and then like you use it as like some kind of gotcha point when it literally means nothing. Like you're just saying stuff that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Like you literally you're literally evading, like you're evading the argument with something completely nonsensical and non-related.
Queen, so based.
I mean,
so
ad hominem again. Like your logic is just not working.
Based. You're so awesome. Holy shit. All right, I think we probably ended up talking long enough.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm not sufficiently convinced on that on either case.
Well, the point wasn't to convince you. I couldn't care less. But hey, like
I think you convinced a lot of people though that you convinced a lot of people that like your point is a little weird.
No, I think that people who hate me are gonna hate me, and that's just what it is. Like, whatever.
No, I mean it's like, listen, there's gonna be people.
Like,
there's gonna be people that hate you for being. There's gonna be people that hate you for being trans. That's how it is. There's people that hate people for whatever reasons. That's life.
If people hate other trans people because of my conduct with Leaflit today, you're fucking cringe. Like, that's so stupid.
That's not what I said.
I'm just talking. I'm talking to your audience in general. I don't care what you're saying. I'm talking to your audience. I'm saying if anyone cares less about trans people because of my own conduct today, that's cringe. That reflects poorly on you. Stop being horrible people. Thank you. All right, we can leave now. Bye-bye.
All right, peace. Damn.